marching,
go marching, go marching. Oh Lord, I want to be your number. Oh, when they say go marching.
oh, when they say,
Oh, when they say,
oh, they say,
oh, when they say
go marching,
go marching, go marching. Oh Lord, I want to be your number. Oh, when they say go marching.
what's it, wayaye, wayaye, wayango, yango, wayaye, 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 mama yango, wayaye, 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 mama yango, wayaye, mama yango, wayaye, we are going,
Heaven knows where we are going. We know we will get there. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will get there. It will be hard, we know. That the road will be muddy and rough, but we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will get there. It will be hard, we know. That the road will be muddy and rough, but we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will get there. Wayaya, 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 wayaya.
That's serious.
Wayaya, wayaya. Oh Lord, I want to be your number. Oh, when they say so marching.
oh, when they say,
Oh, when they say,
oh, when they say,
when they say,
go marching,
go marching, go marching. Oh Lord, I want to be.
The NPP cannot be underestimated. You know it, I know it. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are. Listen. Munjir. The nature of who they are, what they are, where they've come from, is something they are happy with, and they will be there for a long time. Let's not mimic their behavior. Let us reach into the principles and the values that emerged out of the circumstances that gave birth to us. And if we can hold onto those principles and those values, we will move way into the future and no one can ever defeat us. We will ride and override any obstacle as we did in the past.
And as I said already, I'll run the leaders but most efficient government under the Fourth Republic by appointing not more than 60 ministers and deputy ministers. And I said already, I'll work to abolish the payment of ex gratia and cut out waste and ostentation in government. We shall work with Parliament and all stakeholders to complete the Constitution review process and strengthen the separation of powers. Government procurement is recognized as a major source of corruption and misappropriation of public funds. We will therefore, among other measures, set up an independent value for money office to scrutinize all government procurements that are above a $5 million threshold or as shall be recommended by Parliament. I will give anti-corruption state institutions unfettered space to operate. The days of the clearing agents must come to an end on January 7, 2025. I'll also set up a commission of inquiry to investigate the matter of looted and stolen state lands. And the same commission will make recommendations for resolving the vexed issue of expropriated Gardangbe lands. And to deepen our democracy, the fourth estate of the realm, the media must also be given a conducive and collaborative atmosphere to operate as the fourth power that they ought to be, without threats, harassment, and assassinations. In this regard, we shall speed up the investigation of the assassination of Ahmed Swale. And the perpetrators shall surely be brought to book. We will restore stability and inclusive growth in the economy, and we shall rejuvenate the almost collapsed banks and the financial sector. And this will involve sweeping reforms at the Bank of Ghana, because the central bank itself has been a part of creating this problem. I'll create the foundation that will ensure that Ghana will never suffer such a deadly debt management program that threatens to send our elderly people holding government bonds to an early grave and wipe out the investments of the Ghanaian middle class. I'll prioritize local participation in the banking, financial, telecoms, mining, oil and gas, agriculture, manufacturing and construction sectors to generate more jobs for our youth. The Ghanaian young men and women we interact with on a daily basis and their colleagues in other African countries are simply tired of the jobless GDP figures. We will actively attract viable and serious private sector investors to partner government to invest in the productive sectors of this country for more jobs to be created. I will advocate strongly the return of investors who have left because of the poor management of this economy by NP. Cutting costs, reducing waste, and spending wisely. One other major problem that has brought us to this point is the reckless and frivolous spending of our scarce natural resources. A fundamental principle in economic management is fiscal discipline in times of crisis. It is simply not possible to live beyond our means and avoid the kind of economic turnout that we currently find ourselves in today. Rampant over-expenditure is reflected in the extraordinary large budget deficits of the last 2 years, which is set to persist for a third straight year if urgent cost-cutting measures are not taken. As noted again by Dr. Forson in his presentation, government will have to cut expenditure by up to 4% of GDP to create the fiscal space desired to get out of this economic crisis. Now note this, the minister in his media budget statement announced a 30% cut in expenditure across board. It appears that this cut is not working, as government expenditure in the first half of the year appears to have significantly exceeded the budget. The minister, rather than a vague reference to percentage cuts, must be specific in what areas these expenditures are to be cut. This will give a clearer picture of the expenditure reduction and how much will be saved from that directive. Drastic action must therefore be taken to reverse the cycle and bring public expenditure within acceptable and prudent levels. Let me propose some measures on how governments can cut costs. One is the size of government. A big contributor to the excessive public expenditure is the sheer size of government. President Akufo-Addo has been particularly irresponsible in keeping a needlessly large government.
All right, so live in Accra, 100.5 Citizens Show. Yamamunyina, Yamamu Kwaba. Edomwa Mwabejina so ewo ye Facebook. Yamamunyina Akwaba. Mwamoti and Council on your YouTube page, Citizens TV Ghana. Yamamunyina Akwaba ewo various platforms Yamoti and Ka Yamamunyina Akwaba Dom and Pimpim Yamuti ewo various offices Mwamoti commercial cars mu etukwai Mwamokwe Chichini Benche Yamuti across the city Mwamoti and Kawa Elmina Cape Coast and other places Yadamunyina CNA area Semunyina Mwa join ye ewo Accra FM the Citizen Show. So I mean, for the man and I'm Jack when the Saturday team, led by Valentina Ofori, Omo Saturday live broadcast reports from various MPP centers every year. Reko fireman in this year, from Kwabena, Saint says more fire. Inusa Abdul Ahmed is in Dubai. Thank you, Lottie Jones, as always, ever present. Asantewa Theresa, Wafake is here on Facebook. Inusa Abdul Amit Ewo Dubai Kwame Osei Ewo Ghana. Alright, so yeah, the munyina sipa an area. But before you be kick off with your program, no Monday edition and then a special. Make us a sepe or sepe special. Franco Sepumpuni Junior. Thank you so much. Zelix Dwayne, Maunyo Freddy Agbeno Heavy also is here. Ayindo Sadik Ewa Accra East Legon. And Madam Fasi, especially taxi drivers and trotro drivers, that they do a no me no copman menos here. Accra FM, the Citizen Show. Yanwa Demsa Agbeko Kofi Joyce Oyene. Thank you. Watching us live. Mesumisho Fidi Kadochi Prince Charles Okai is here Benghazi. Na yatese eye yenua nomnoa omo garua se national security minister ma asoja for koto share wo moso no yese baako ahwere ne nkwa yese baako ahwere ne nkwa we don't know whether omakodi asojefo nim sem bi na ewu ana say eye omdom call hospital ni bi na ewu. We just want to find out quickly na head here Chris Kao, welcome back to duty. Please bring my comrade Bachanfo to Kumasi na medin ba semechi na ba na medin ba fine. This is what you are crying. Mauli Aniaku says good afternoon, Bobie. All right, so thank you. Shawa is watching us. Courage Dollar is here. Sheikh live and loud in Nima, and we are listening to you loud. Nima, yeah, that Nima phone you say. Oh, you know wisdom. And so I join in. Okay, so then can we perceive a clear yes issue no everywhere with Dr. Anaba. And Dr. Anaba is a friend, and I think no Oyajmo Reg Hospital, right? Okay, so Dr. Thomas Anaba, NDC parliamentary candidate, Garu constituency. Doc, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on Accra FM.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to your cherished listeners. Great.
Okay, so we just received an information that one of your brothers lost his life. Those who were attacked by the soldiers. How far is this news?
Yeah, it is true. That is the sad news you've heard, and I can confirm to you that it is true that one of the gentlemen, the military meted out their anger and brutality, their unquestionable misbehavior to citizens of Garu, has fallen victim and has been dispatched to his maker in sorrow.
So when did he die?
No one expected him to depart this world.
When did he depart this world?
It is 2 days ago that they realized there was some stench in the house. The previous day they didn't see him. They thought he had gone to work because he works with a construction company, and not knowing he was lying in the room and passed on. So it is the stench that drew the attention of the other members of the family to open the room and realize he was laying there decomposing.
So which means he died about 2 days ago.
It means he died about 48 hours before it was discovered.
Wow.
That will be confirmed by the forensic department that is handling the case.
Have you been able to meet with the family?
I've spoken with the family and happen to be the family member of the Zongo chief of Garu. They are very sad. They are not happy at all. They are impotent because they don't have any power. No one is coming to their rescue. Not even government has rushed to go and console them. If you notice, after the brutalities in Garu, it happened that the current vice president, who was the commander-in-chief the day the brutalities took place, because the president was out of the country, came to Bolga to campaign. He didn't even utter a word to sympathize with those they are beating. He didn't even mention Garu. Even though you were on a campaign trail, but you expected people from Garu to come and vote for you. Even people who were supposed to go and vote were also beaten. He could have said something about the military brutalities. But surprisingly, the vice president didn't utter a word about Garu, as if Garu is not part of Upper East region. As if Garu doesn't have MPP members.
Dr. Anaba,
Yes.
Let me ask you this question. Are you guys able to give your victims, those victims, a proper medical care?
It can be. Even if it happened in Accra, do you know the numbers that were beaten? Can you imagine a local community, Garu, a faraway district from the capital, where resources are very scarce? Even an ordinary X-ray, they don't have. You have only 2 doctors in the whole of Garu. But for those who have to rush and go there to support, they could only give first aid.
So which means if
X-ray, ultrasound, to identify
Dr. Nama, if I understand you well, which means our departed brother is one of the few people who were not able to go to the hospital, or you know for a fact that he went to the hospital. However, he couldn't access quality medical care. Is that what you want to tell us?
He went to the hospital. He was treated for what they could discover with their naked eyes on him and the complaints he gave. But you cannot discover whether he is having bleeding happening in the chest, in the lungs, in the abdomen, or he has some hematoma hidden somewhere because of the beating. Whether he had a ruptured kidney or a retroperitoneal hematoma. Unless you do an X-ray or a CT scan or an ultrasound, these things were not available. They were available. Those who were taken out because of their gravity were assessed on this. But he, for one, was not. One could start having bleeding and go home and it gets worse, and he can die. Like he died.
So
or one can develop a pneumonia after a lung contusion.
So meaning, Dr. Naba,
the way they were beaten, if he had contusion in the lungs that was initiating, he could go home fine. But later on, if the lungs could not resist, the capacity of the lungs cannot resist the damage to it.
Okay, so Dr. Naba, meaning that we might find similar victims in the position of our beloved brother who just lost his life, right?
Yes, we could have others suffering the same way, because those are the complications of the acute injuries they sustain. You could have others suffering that way. So that is why we are calling on all of them that they should report to hospital anytime they feel uncomfortable. Perhaps he was uncomfortable, took a painkiller, went to lie down, and he couldn't.
But don't you think it is advisable that they submit themselves to a medical center for them to, just screen them and give them a report? At least we may have a fair idea as to what is happening to them internally and deal with it before it's too late.
No, you can identify external injuries, but you can think of an internal injury depending on the extent of the external injury.
That is why I'm asking that. Why don't you guys advise them to go back to the hospital, submit themselves to a medical center for them to get screened?
Everybody who was discharged from the hospital were asked to return to the hospital anytime they feel uncomfortable or they feel they are getting worse. That's why I'm saying perhaps he went to lie down, he couldn't call, and he went. There are certain diseases there are certain complications like a pneumothorax. If you were having a chest injury, it turned into a pneumothorax, you can die instantly. You can die instantly.
I see.
If you had a chest injury, a lung injury, that was at least allowing you to walk around physiologically, and you get home, it gets worse on your bed, and there's no one close to you, you can die out of a complete lung failure.
I see.
So there are the autopsy, the forensic study would give us the real cause of the death, but definitely it should be associated with the beatings they sustained, they got from the military. Using a 2x4 wood, 2x4 wood to beat somebody's back can cause serious damage to internal organs in some people.
Anyway,
especially if you are very slim.
So now, what is the way forward with respect to this particular matter? It seems like it's dying out. I heard that the National Security Minister is in town and is supposed to appear before Parliament. I don't know whether he was able to go or as usual with their. But what is the way forward?
It's not dying out. It is just that perhaps the media is not talking on it, but you are talking on it right now. We are still gathering data and information. We want to observe to see whether there will be any complication in anybody. Then we can have enough data about the level of injury on each and every one that was beaten. Then we can use that one to advise to seek advice from lawyers to move forward. Parliament has also asked that the Speaker has also asked that we get the National Security Minister to come and answer questions. All these things show that the case is not dying. Now somebody is dead out of it. We are just trying to add more news to it now for people to understand that the brutalities have caused the death of a man and leaving behind a wife and 2 children, which must be investigated. So it can't die. What is surprising is that these things are quiet. Government is quiet about it. It brings more about the suspicion people have that government is getting involved in the Boko conflict. Government is playing a role to support one group of people in the Boko conflict. This is the suspicion about the car that was shot at, which government claimed that it was government vehicle. Now evidence is showing that it's not government vehicle. Is it a cover-up by the National Security Minister? That is why they are quiet? Is it a cover-up that those people came to cause mayhem in Garu? Remember I told you that car we discovered, it wasn't a government car.
Yes.
It belongs to one Benjamin Mensah with a Star Assurance Comprehensive Insurance.
Who is that Benjamin Mensah?
We don't know him. Government said it's a government vehicle. They should tell us whether Benjamin Mensah has been he now represents Ghana.
I see.
This is where the suspicions are coming. Remember, a national security operative dressed in full gear, bulletproof, went to kill people in Boku. It was gunned down. Now another group of national security men were in Garou with a private vehicle, loaded with arms, claiming to be national security people, when the people had doubts that they wouldn't be. That brought about the shooting of the vehicle. Now they send people to come and beat everybody in Garou. I think when something happens, that is how we should investigate it. Now somebody has died. An innocent victim has died.
Anyway, all right.
The
So,
not even the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, not even the person who was acting as commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces the day the violence took place, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, he came to Tamat Bolga, close to Garou, and never said something about the Garou incident.
Yes. Anyway, you have touched on that one. But before you go, I suggest that you guys should concentrate more with the social media. If you think you can't rely on the mainstream media, then which means you need to turn to on social media. Nobody has monopoly or control over what you do. Yes, there are rules and regulations and there are guidelines. So, but then you can use the social media to push your stories. Yeah, at that point, on social media, you don't need Accra FM, you don't need City FM, you don't need Joy FM, you don't need Adom FM, you don't need Class FM. I mean, yes, it's a platform created for all of us. So if you guys strongly believe that there are some hands operating somewhere that are capable of, stopping the media from discussing your issue, you can channel it through the social media, and it's very effective.
Right.
Yeah, it's very effective.
We are doing that, but we are also observing the way government is responding to some of these things, how they are behaving, and we think that there is a clear plan. We are thinking that there's a clear plan to eliminate some group of people, to align some group of people, just like we are seeing in Gaza, that a government is silent about police military brutality that has caused death of people. We are not seeing any action from them. Does it mean that Boku people, Garou people are not part of Ghana? The president is silent. You have come back, the one who was acting on your behalf. Under him, there was mayhem in a part of the country, and he hasn't uttered a single word yet. Is the government working together with the opponents of the Kusasis to perpetuate this heinous crime on the Kusasi land?
Well, I think these are some of the answers that Parliament would definitely demand from Kandapa when he appears before when he appears before the House. So let's wait and see. Maybe after him appearing before the House, we will get some few answers to some questions that's hanging. All right. Thank you so much for speaking to Accra FM. Thank you, Doctor.
Pleasure talking to you and the opportunity for talking to the people to hear.
All right, Dr. Thomas Anaba. And Yanine Kasain, but Accra Ebane say omo asoja for Kandapa suma soja former omokobo omono bako ewu. You see, this is my point, right? If we are say adia, my only problem with this Akufo-Addo government is how they complained previously about governance, approach. Me asantini ba ye wo me asanti mampon. Me nyini wo. Enti enema no mo complaining for how Rollins use military ni nyina no. Ye mu bi wa ni esua yete. So now you have the opportunity. And the na u preach no. Enka be my good governance where at least a month for bejiwadi. And when you say, oh, okay, so these guys were complaining about the Rollins regime or how they were using the PNDC, they were using the military and all that. And I think this is the right way to go. Or be next time, oh, can someone now man for will say, yes, you are a genuine person. Me problem, with this Akufo-Addo government no. Just imagine Kandapa or my minimum free namo. Just imagine uko opposition. Then one day somebody will just send military to Namo. Ako buo mo prepare o ma menom ni ade ade. Kandapa what if ya? Where is your moral right to come and talk about this matter? Won't mean Kabi. You just need to just keep your mouth shut and sit somewhere and cry. Because you got the opportunity and you decided to misuse the state power. It's foolishness. Absolutely foolishness of a Kandapa and Kwasiasem. We are Ghanaians and you must accept it. If you are an Ashanti, you are offense so will be free garu. Just get it right. This is common sense. We're in Ansah. You can't do things anyhow. A sovereign country, you pay your taxes. We pay you. And you must do things right. And go forward and omni a credible preku, that time SK Boafunum Mampone other towns oboma no. And now Rollins here would dini no a soldier for buey and a soldier for buey na kwakuba kono namasia na egbefebe no namasia kan kwasiasem. Today, all these activists against Rawlings regime, they call them because now it's against their opponents. When they are doing it, here therefore it says we are na many MPP ni be din komo on Facebook, and I'm catching and say, I strongly believe there is something wrong with the current MPP supporters as a dam. You see, when it's about them, yes, yeah. We're talking about UGMC. Oh, UGMC, you see, Atamils ne see, nya John Mahama. Atamils, or CPP ni. But the argument they say, any good thing under Akufo-Addo a friend is a administration. Also, Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration. Oh my idea. When it comes to John Mahama, Mills Mahama administration, no, President Mills is different. Obviously, Nippon will bought them straight. But them in an kasa. And I wonder where that insanity every year, because I know MPP. I mean, me Akufo-Addo ba MPP mwana mi jaye, because I can't stay under one roof with a criminal, a reckless person who has, I mean, only any intention, good intention. I don't stay at one place with such people. No. So the point is, at least say obia omo yefan say omo ko jira encrophobia omo so omo ye national, and now they are telling us that even car no say national security car no, it's registered with DVL will be Dimu Benjamin Mensah. Memeti said the way and everybody is trying to track that Benjamin Mensah person. Why should you do that? Especially when you know, say, power and kawunsem. Even 19 years of Rawlings, at a point in time, they say, walking away. So there are certain things on saka power now. Yeah, just think about it, because say Kwame, say national security for ya Kandapa sim crofo iko jina womu. Garufo no womu pictures o. You may think that you have power. Free power. Adabe free power no. Garufo no be used be nya koye ura national security mu. They'll go and look for these guys. So what will happen? They say, we ba na enkrofo a omo legitimately ya for omo adwuma. Ya oyo omo adwuma no. Eso odwane, or resign free adwuma no odwane free Ghana. Inti akakan Man here na man for 5 driving the bedroom baby they will extend it to their family because nipa no feel say buy sesa na so adwane a ode be ko abusuafo so ye kwaya na ye buy. Why should we create this kind of environment? Why can't we live as brethren? Can't we live peacefully? Yent mean tra asumdwemu. Yeah, I mean obia hu no yonko a eye nigye obi ya bone na se ese mrani ni dia. Yeah, mamrani ni enya woni pa na ese oni ni dio. Ma emra eni ni emra no da ho. You obaba bamu obekọ emra no da ho. Ye no na govern ye free na nanwa penso be pemene. So we must just apply the law. And the law and can't now say for 2 inches bar said there for Bobie. No. Yes, I know law no catch you. So assume yes, I saw your call. You run the people up. More do more back more by your screening. More whom for cry, more yes or more attacking national security, and you take them to court. You allow the court to take them through the process. Wait, can the bar a Ansah? What Jimmy Ansah? You don't need to treat your fellow Ghanaian like this. And you were the people during Rollins' time, Munam Kumasia, Santiman, Porfenso areas, Kekachram Crawford, Rollins, there, Asojana, Rollins, rule of law, and what they, Asoja 48 and Crawford found. That is why these MPP people, I mean, I don't get them. Because the things they complain about, given the opportunity, no more the same thing. And me buzo say and the idea now we are victim of why should you complain when you know that yes, given the opportunity you do same? Why do you me idea me nyawa me yobi no? I don't complain because me nyawa me yobi. But if you complain there, which means unim say there is alternative there, you know papa. Say a quite say so near faso ya dear. Ye faso bu of mine. So people are expecting you to do better. You don't go around attacking people, killing people, maiming people, and all that. What is it? What do you get out of this? Kandapa, yeah, by next year now, Kofi. When you don't do this kind of things. But what got Trefi and Colenia Brewsu? A best shock you. We got Trefi and Colenia Brewsu feared in den. Utu fear and Coleba. Stop that. Munya is idea. So Ufu say Obia BB na ayam from ya. Use the law. Go through the process. Finito. And no. You don't know your Bible cry ya kenka ya diti kruma. But when you go after people, crass the same way, crass I'm for using national security, inventions near their serious investigations. Go to the other countries. Go and go share. Your research. They are coming up with issues. Your research. That is how our developed countries. We all use national security as armed robbery group, as a criminal gang, as a who be basa. The same people that not complaining about Chikata no more. The late Coyote. And some people before Abeka. So you ask yourself like, yeah, quite na here, ba. It's not. For all you know, a brand here where we say so no one here breadwinner money family. I'm telling you. Would you walk under Pauma at one chain? Where you may a free a aunt or free mampon, and you may move by Yadriane, next table, so now no ma, no for phone, no fro, but hello, no just daddy. How can be dear? Why should you do that? to obi frigaru onye Ghana ni onye nipa. Why? You tell the person, see, when you hear something, say something. Enipa ni ehunu bibi no about oba be ka kire wa osime buafu. So now you are creating an environment where the people in Garu, they will even be more comfortable. Say, if indeed your terrorist crowd, you are telling them to get alliance and also, mobilize themselves. That's because so to be to whole towns. What are you telling them? The trust in the military, the trust in leadership is gone. Only any trust be our mobile. And you catch any power say Buamene fight terrorists. On the all can want to us. National security. Enye bibiao. Ansah. Ansah keke. Just apply wisdom. You apply wisdom. I don't know. National security. Enye she. Me national security for no be kromo ntumi ntromo din. Charlie. Anyway. All right, so Kwame for a National Media Commissioner in to mama. Still, let me cast me to a so. Make us me to your page no so. Why so? And also on. Anyway, why not send the command? Hey. And you what I'm sending out. Come in your and you must send your command. Wrong person. Wow. Ho. Oh, any master? Okay, so he's here. All right. Okay, so Kwame is here. He's here. Okay, for two more mama. Joshua Tenge Mensah is here with us. Joshua Machiawe Kwajo Fiagbe is here. Jigbodi Prince after 2024 elections, MPP party will collapse through Baumia. All right, so this one is coming from Jigbodi Prince. Thank you. And Emmanuel Suzuki watching us live. All right, so we have Emmanuel Suzuki here on your Facebook page. Yeah, that's me. Pacho, mama, hamame. Na, your friend say, I don't know. Ghana for more on this second year, me person me juma. Then Mr. Dombila is here. Good afternoon, Commander. Watching you live from Tema New Town. Johnny Fojo is here. Mercy Oche is here. We have Awudu Moham, Nelson Goka, Adamisa, Nat, and so what Texas, and also I say, yeah, Mpacho. Mehu, your friends, let it be on my track on my Power FM. From National Media Commission. And I don't know whether say a National Media Commission for Ejuma National Media Commission, yeah. And on my short letter with the Aquacoma Power FM. All right, so let me just read through this National Media Commission. The Chief Executive Officer, Authentic Media Company Limited, PO. Okay, so it goes obscene broadcast. And my main take it time, read it through Kakrebi. Quote, on Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, you allowed your station, Power FM, to be used as the medium for gender-based insult on His Excellency Hajia Samira Baumia in a perverted and debased broadcast that also sought to denigrate the entire Fulani community in Ghana and incite ethnic tension. Such behavior has no place in our search for national cohesion. peace and development. Your presenter's funny protestation was unprofessional and deceitful, calculated to urge the commentator on. Instead of being a moderator, your presenter became a cheerleader for obscenity. We ask you to apologize to His Excellency Hajia Samira Baumia and the Fulani community. We additionally ask that you apologize to the Ghanaian public whose sensibilities you breached by that broadcast. We expect you to undertake the above and present evidence of the same to the Commission before November 11th, 2023, after which date you may hear further from the Commission. Okay, so this one is coming from National Media Commission, signed by George Sapon, Executive Secretary. Another rogue, that guy. Another rogue. So this is signed by George Sapon. And make sure George Sapon picture. Wabra me run show ya. Okay, so omede come out Power FM. Ora Julius, Dr. Julius Debranum. All right, thank you. And mint bimbo tape no waha ebu. I have listened to in fact a video. I have watched it. Now, MPP new. MPP new. Canada Japan. Muntia ni yo. MPP ni ene call Power FM. Ana okwase sa Samira kwaka say enkrofo amen. Ena enkrofo amen no mpese party no co opposition no. Ana ode no kwatra Power FM. And in fact, I think say ohine ba na when the guy was going on and on and on, or try so best topic guy and they say onjai. And I think the presenter even disassociated the station from what the guy was saying. Right? Or catch and say onjai. The guy was talking about Samira and Fulani and not all the floors who Fulani say but then I'm say I won't play Ebio Ewahase mean to be more tape no. I think it was bad. Yes, I agree. You understand? Because I advocate for national cohesion. That look, whatever it is, Kwame, we should find a way I debate to Ghana. No be a tono. What do you say? Sir, and yet we are a crown of Bonania the idea. Obi free baby baby can say a dodo yako. What do you say? Obi and me when you don't even can't change on the better Ghana. We have gone past that level. We have gone past that level. So me seriously, I don't encourage those things. Especially many other tribes need to grow more. Me now fast and for cry very few. Most of the friends I have other tribes, especially Evers and Dagombes, Mamprusi people too. Yeah, I have many Mamprusi friends. But this is the point. Ewiase. National Media Commission George Sapon. Yati kroma. Ana NDC ekoyi Professor Jena no poku. Want to me ekwatra ne radio so say Professor Jena no poku enim esefunu meboa. Enya kroma. Enya want to be radio. Ana Professor Jane de onka gender no. Yati kroma. Aslawusu ekwatra Peace FM. Say your friend say what do you call it? Free SHS. Wasem. If Aslawusu anu a wase enya free SHS a enka Haruna Idrisu John Mahama enkomo eka nantwie so meboa akromo oh yeah some crofo we oh even George Sapo no so no MPP ni we Jimmy Ewu and or the National Media Commission ho. Very foolish boy no the National Media Commission ho. And crofo etimi ya de a what me dwene ho ase ah crofo we ya na omu wura dem ya na o ma dwene ya omo sei. Edimi misia omo amenhwe omo anim kra o. They are just foolish people for me. I don't even look at their face. Anantwi asemo a mo se ayi obi akwatra Power FM akasa. And you see on the way boy ni MPP ni o. On the way national media ayi boy ni Afrimu. The guy is an MPP member. Why you Kennedy Japan supporter? Nidi be good Power FM program na say. Adanti no man for boy na nsem say MPP ni panelists no better Power FM no because they don't want MPP to come in there. Why do you do that? I don't know sir. Anybody no call Power FM no. Why MPP ni Kennedy Japan supporter? MPP flag gunuko. I've watched the video. Say omo feresa ombeka say boy ni MPP communicator. Yet kroma ena your friend say Hot FM. Guy your friend no enya Amaliba lawyer o. Baku omo wa Amaliba baku bi. Ono what say Amaliba dia. And this for another Amaliba bi enya Amaliba lawyer penin baku bi okọ radio so. MPP ni communicate money tape no video no. Ganya ma me boy ya. MPP ni communicator na net Hot FM so no aka so catch say 10 year boa. We National Media Commission obi anko ye complain. Into Hot FM de no mo ante. Haruna Amaliba mo or the Haruna Amaliba. MPP communicator on Hot FM catch say 10 year boa. Why do you do that? Adia mu ye no me make some crofo me nti omo ase o. Me nti ase. I don't get it. Aslosu we ya on nante banchire basabasa ne sin ebititi bi so no. Ogotra Peace FM. Kwakache Haruna Idrisu ne Jomama say but for a free SHS and komuka and nantwie omo dia nantwie na enam wuram. Go to Peace FM. The tape is there. Go. Omo ne kwa me sefa kan ko di sankwase ade no. Eria. The oka asem no. Aha. Friend ma'am. Wabwa. Friend ma'am. It's not right. Oh, and never say someone condemn ya. Me seriously, I don't tolerate such talks. Oba say we can be your friend say Samira Kabibi. Opa so responded to her. I mean, yana enkomu kan ntwina de. Hey, Charlie. If we are see yakoya nim, we don't need this kind of, loose talks. Yakoya nim too much. Samira betimi akabia kire no without attacking her tribe. Betimi akabia kire ni straight. And as Samira then won some 1,001. But so person who denigrate ne baby a free. Please. Ansah, ye nyina ya be hia wo my we mu no de. Ghana obi afri baby na bai. Obi every be me na buy. Obi ntimi mfa ne nsa usini bo say me na ye media. Ene nka gwanso no be ka che se ye nyina ye ntu. Oh, yemfa adwobre ne akomapa entena. Enche onipa ade a wo so obi mfiri anu awu no agya Ghana no. Uja Ghana no a emu ada ho na eye dey. South Africa. Unim so amate ayibi, omo so friend dey. Nkululu or Dululu or something. Tax force, they go around searching for migrants and crofwa or free other countries. I bet now no, omo pamomo, omo free onko. Ya any paba kono de. Oh, coming no and coming me the tea any free or. Say we see charge I bet me. Community when floor. Me pa mo cha mo amotemenka ene awie. Look, tell me unsuo a situation. Tell me there, am I for bro? Then I heard say Adenta. Obi frame me from Cape Coast. They are struggling. Now, we are in person who this uncommon. Yes, Kumase, lights of no anwashi, and some for team Ashanti regional. Me penny pamiensa from Ashanti region to give me situational reports. Then among us I say complaining about prices of food stuffs, onions, any tomatoes, any tomatoes, any enyama kakra. Amanfo edi. Amanfo ashase complaining. Okay, now come says Gulf City and Michelle Camp with the suffer, commander, and that's your secret committee. Okay, so Gulf City, Michelle Camp, no water. Sa Ghana niya sorry, boso me na ye mie pipe da. Wamo kwa break the 8 no. No mo wa ye fi won motom kankan no mo de call your friend say various centers e de call stadium wo omo motom tutu e no mo de call ye break the 8 no omo anyare enso ni ho across the country ya hwe ye na yare bi break out ahun ya hwe ye na yare bi break out ahun. Now, Elisha says, Mr. Bobie, our water is not flowing since last week, Friday. Mi wo osu haya, osu haya. Osu haya. Osu haya. Amanfo nyansuo enum. Amanfo nyansuo enyusu. We have leadership crisis. That is the reality. Grace Amakwansa was it come na takrade baby bebre wa wansuo mba. Now, Alote says Bobie, Bubashi for the past 2 weeks no water. Intermittent power outages. Bobie, we are suffering. You see Ashanti region de nyagro. Chale min ko banim ana, min ko banim. Nti mama me signal. Asharboche over 2 months, no water. Councillor Nathan. Okay, so maybe 10 minutes a year, sir, Adewe. Talk to me about your current water situation. Talk to me about your current water situation. And I wish we can get other lines for outside because I'm out for sending me messages, baby. But 0302208090. Talk to me about your water situation. And then Sika Achadiano. And then this week a special. Star 413 hash. Star 413 hash. By 3:30, me bomb me first winner. na me come anim. But okay, so hello.
Bobie.
Yes, sir.
Nikasa fi Tabora.
Tabora, okay.
Chale ni yadamu dari amuye program no we ana me feel too much. Me talk that na man kwa juma. There, litimi bio tum. Oh ha. Na man for feel.
Yes, sir. So you go straight to the matter. We are talking about water issue. Anything afraid?
Aye.
Okay.
Ya hanu no ya Tabora hanu. 2 weeks ni njo mada.
2 weeks ni.
Aye.
Wow.
2 weeks water bill abakura mimi yete mimi de 48 cedi. Abe. Ye mizu no ye santi onka.
Okay. So say utonsu, right?
Ah, ye bucket back 1 cedi.
Say bucket back here 1 cedi.
Aye, ma bibi na wa pu ebula wa ye eyinu na. So no buy wa bu eguma no kwa say asamo sonso.
All right.
Easy.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So Daniel say, please Kasua Walantu for the past 3 weeks now, no water. Buabin says Tabora Laji since 2 weeks near no water. Commander Dakuman here over 2 weeks no water. All right. So we have Abbas said, says Commander, I'm watching you live from Kumasi Ebuakwa, and every evening from 8:30 p.m. Nomadum Kaniano. David also says, my name is David. I'm from Tabora for the past 2 weeks. No water, Bobie. Now Hansen Pacino says, please Accra FM Emma TV show. Emma TV show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I'm Pacho from Sofri.
Yeah, Bobie Ansah. Cho Mohammed ni Mikasafi Aguna Swedru.
Aguna Swedru. Okay, so talk to me.
Nankupon Shroud program awu ya member now. So Omaya yetim no kwari abakuto. Ye kan susam awo. Ye nyina ye kan ho. Et de bia ahanu sensu anta e woni ati. Nti tenia wo kansa ipa de o se Ghana fu nyina ye tu ye wo fo.
So please Aguna Swedru, what is the current situation? What unsu asem ewo Aguna Swedru? That is what we are talking about.
Yes, low.
But unya nsu.
Oh, soon they about off and on.
It's me the say.
Oh, I just saw we are ever one side there. My week time now another side.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
Program all
right. May I say, my main another caller, quick one. Thomas Kweku Adumreku says, Bobie, I whip anytime Ghana. Okay, so let me move on. Hello.
Hello, Commander.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Majoso.
The Frempong, broadcaster.
Broadcasting.
Top audio is the Makrao.
Broadcasting, Waifa.
Broadcasting after 2 boots, because everybody Omo besi omo tank no kwan the taxi rank ho. But instead of some babe na nsuo na pompi afa top ano. Commander. Nsuo ne ma. Enta habo hosu nkwan na edi adwuma. Oko bi fie no lokon na aja are chance.
Remember, for na besi omo tank or whatever.
What do you say?
For na besi omo tank you said there.
Oh, it's a first time water for no. Omo besi we say omo pompi begu reservoir man my omo do machine pompi akọ. Afu top wa. Sada ni si osisi a besi nde. Omba be ni no mama nsuo na furu no masa e dan osi ho.
I see.
Na omo do hoye taxi station nsuo masoro da ha bo hosu nkwan na yejuma wa.
For how long ni? For how long ni?
Wa cha me ba somewhere 2012 when me ba nsuo for surada.
Wow.
Nsuo for surada nti bo hosu nkwan na di ejuma.
Okay.
Almost tank no sisi a omo di na ti o se de omo di e. Any sure.
All right, thank you. My make of another caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your friend is in because I play Ashoman Estate.
Okay, Ashoman.
Yeah, because I'm here for Adriana.
Adriane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, do this by a baton and so to buy a day. Now, I'm going to escape to about 2 cities.
And to escape to about 2 cities.
2 cities. It's me, the minutes old. The number of 2 cities. I am 1 year. Me got no now woman vendor you wanna make got on here.
When him say when him say last week me koto jene 20 cities na omoyi say 6 omma me 6 as a 7 ha me am see ase me pa last week oh
na pato me pa so nya economic attorney so na mo come any before
okay
abana ye ko teni to the phone MPP phone o me wiam
Mate, Mamin dealing with Inso, Mamin dealing with Mamin dealing with Inso na 7 why. Hear me pa. Okay, so Ken Emmanuel says, Commander, since yesterday I didn't man from no water in Soma. Okay. All right, so hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello. Hello, Bobie.
Yes, sir. Nyami Adum.
Unia George watching.
Okay.
I want to say, Bobie.
Nyami Adum boko na we. Okay.
Anyway, the radio me phone me chill, but economy ne dear. You better watch it. And in person Yamre, now to me frame.
Mate.
It's me. I can't economy no watch it. So I can maybe me promise you say, and I do the second time I better watch it. To see a corruption is too much.
Mate, I and then me focus were in Sweden, so let me deal with.
You show me baby, I want me my two show. You show me war between domain or any adenta area. A holding now a show na me too. You will show problem pa unse Mahama time no. Yeah, adenta abokobi water project, well done project.
Yeah.
Now I wonder how say up to now abokobi insuno endru ye hono moye. Have big problem. Domi Kwabena na mostly we just never end abokobi boy. Abokobi boy. And Ansah now make Kasano. You saw some there and you're very, very terrible. Terrible. Me fear me sin I'm too sure. Nti wo ka ho asema wo kapa.
Mate, me pem ye be sia na ye din komo.
Aye, because I'm not time now strong. I was so invite me na me back studio.
Mate.
You know, my producer no. So what me no man need that.
Mpacha.
Nti I'm ever ready.
Okay.
Now, I wanted to know say me person akufa do ti say. Baby odi o man ko do no. Otimi ma ba yanje de. Ento aso. They are too corrupt.
Ye be di hun komo.
And vote buying. Look how they have done the country.
We'll talk about it. We'll find time to talk about
it. City. You are corrupt leader.
All right, thank you. But make up another caller, quick one. Hello.
Kobi.
Haja.
Kobi Madina. Nsio mu asem die. In fact, ye kan dia ya na ye ni atate nsio. Esan se mre bi etwemu. Na nso ho odine wo Madina. Na men charge the president months ni do mama. Ebe ye kon water project. Ninia. Nsio flow sa 24/7.
I
see.
Na
ye catch water bill a ye di bre Madina fo a. Ye tutu ye pipe mo ba ye. Ene Madina West ena me wo. Nti Madina West asem ena meka. Ninia. Ye tutu pipe mo by heart. Ewo Madina West. Ene nyame adom. Me assemblyman Honorable Abdulrazak City. Ene ya be two mechanized borehole. Ewo ye Sakura Park a ebe ye 1 billion park no so no. Ene ehonomo fo nyina anya nsu a omubu a. Enye easy. Ninia. Na me di wie no mesrew. Ye wo area bi a ye frɛ no say ewo aboko bi side honom.
Yeah.
Ye frɛ honom say di no ayira me kakra. Minia, a honor mammy be an abbey borehole. And I supply a honor for monsieur. Minia Beman, soon you hard water. Into the sabo no so hard water now be by force. Or much sika as land owners, a landlords no.
Yeah.
Or much sika or more pet. Sharp one water we be say a daba on minia, ye church, I'm afraid Mrs. Tati wanting to make us as me. Ye church sika be 200 every house. ama kopem nne nsuo no muntimi ntwe fam de omo ala da.
I see.
And the hard water na no mu use omo rekwa hard water. Say intense, say attack.
So which means Medina Aboko before for how long you know munye nsuo?
Hey, I tell you, unse say na Honorable Francis Xavier so ko two.
No, so hold on.
Hospital.
Enti ewie ya me no ka say no. Nsuo mfa pipe mu wo area ho.
Nsuo mfa pipe mu wo me say where there me throat challenge ma me say ko psychiatric hospital honom. Na ko bisa midwife no say eye den na say o manya borehole. Francis Sosu and a to sabo hole no at the moment because pipe nsuo and fa omu line muda.
I see.
And students no omo bre Ansah no omanya nsuo and so na say ya ko to sabo hole no ma omo no and na ahohin hai aba omo so kakra na say unti school no mu bi na so uti etire wo de obede enya nsuo and unti na ya ka kire amount for say ban we oye clueless.
Okay, all right, thank you, my dear. Commander, good evening, please. I'll say McDonald called to harass them. Next one day, I don't know. Now, Obia sent me a message or say at the court this morning where His Lordship Ajman Bedu is the current High Court judge suffered power outage when the court was in process and everyone was just fanning his or herself with their papers and documents. Honestly, it's getting out of hand. And the court to them, High Court, Omudu Munkania, eho. And you know so and Kaibui amount for and send so. My for my last two callers, we hello.
Hello, Bobie.
Yes, sir.
The person me friend Ajingano.
Ajingano, okay.
East Legon, NTAC estate no. Masa, ye unso mao. Unso ye nyenso de bia ton so poli tank ni ton 150 Ghana.
Since when?
I want to so bring 150 Ghana cedis in only supply in soon. Our NTAC Ajingano.
But so far mo pipe
no ma Bobie pipe no ma. And so sometimes some do belly brayer. So
okay.
You want the Kudia cause Ubisa Wams in soon and Cassan Ghana water west of Funankasa. Ghana organizing in show and or the Eddie Bray.
Okay, all right. Okay, Medase. Hasif Rain says Dumswa is back in Kumasi 247. Aguna Dunkwa, good afternoon, all right. Tricky says General 2 months in here, Bawi 0, nothing. Okay, quick. Mame from a last call and after. Hello.
Hello.
Pastor, everything.
Commander, Upper Kenny, New Press Station, Circle.
Okay.
Commander, Mehmet Abokobi. And me here, Juma was Circle. Circle, you won't show. Your light system, you're good. But never the imagery. Opa Abokobi, your light system, you're good. It's so, and Joma Mokase, Abokobi, Yanga, what's what kind of work at Empino Medina? Abokobi, so on the rest of. What is it? Mommy, I can't pray. And you know when you like, come on, Aboko be the home, my makers and Sony one. Come on, then Mahama, by 8 years, and Aboko be Kuru.
Maybe who fear the Aboko be who fear Waboko in so far.
And so far,
okay.
Your light system, you're good. Over second, in your light, you tell me, send your show, me take you to you.
Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, so Abokobi for Omo say Abokobi ensuo no no obi so afre say Abokobi ensuo eba ewo ho but temade ne de anu ose temade ne de anu ose pa. All right, so that's it. But quick one, we need to just go beyond ye na yen kokobusa ho asem. Habib says Bobie Asherman pure water area has never had pipe born water. And it's part of Adwoa Safua's constituency. On your she. Okay, so Adokpakpo Ebusa say, all right, so you know omunkomo bia omo AD. Na mame nra eye Ghana water. Na menye adwuma bi ewo Ghana water quick emra. Yembuse mo asem. So the issues about light and because ya kekako Christmas mo anu no. Amanfo ntimi mfa motuom kankan enkonko di bronya. And MPP ni mi nua baby menene kasa dam so omo policy ba ko a Akufo-Addo Bawumia or say December or say December to remember or say remember December in Ghana. Oh, yes, so much idea biaba. Me kura on the mami hu ya me ko Google ya year of return no a policy. Na me say the bronya so your policy. Yes, so my Isle gonna Baron Karim see no water. Yes, so my lunch bibi a friend December GHO say December in Ghana. Bronya a policy. Young guys say some ye ni abra basa amanfo nya adwuma nye na bronya no me fa de na nkodi. Ade ya hoho ba na hoho ba na se ye ho ye fin wo ha ahoho ba no mu nya nsuo nware a 3 weeks 1 month 2 months ne nsuo mae na motom kankan ye de ko dance motom kankan ye de ko dance goji so mu na restaurant motom mu bo ye de be ko all the squad so mu de metro fo agina ye ma ho and I think this water issue is serious. I know say water rationing normal year. They should just tell us. So it be a 1 month, half for munyansu. Now Oma prepare. Half for 1 month, mubenyansu. So Amafo can just plan. But says almost every place in Ghana, no water. Yeah. I was in Cape Coast over the weekend, and the way people are complaining there, easy. Oh, turn so bucket say, now what to be say mama, what on so say mama jare, now what on so say Eddie Auronium, now what on so say the cinema, and the weekends about for cinema or more day. Why? Why? Okay. So, why? East Legon pass no water. Okay, so my many is some more dear. And couldn't come more. Same Akwaba.
Ini amijoso.
Boko die.
Ya me adom boko.
Okay, etie for opani amenene ka say Same oya MPP ni.
Fato me MPP ni mapa.
Na o support Kennedy Japan.
Sanity.
Okay, all right. Me pacho eya wona oko Power FM ekodi nkomo bi fa second lady ho no.
Nkomo de madi mebre nti se bi a wo bomi mu because Power FM ni TVS was at there ba bi a meta kasa ho pa.
Okay. Now, the entire me busa sa no me hu video bi.
Okay.
Eya na about or response to Samira during mo campaigns ni bi.
Yeah.
We na me hu sa National Media Commission atro Power FM said they should apologize and all that. For me, I think say for them to leave you out was unfair.
Yes.
But me pacho. Dear. And some free on buy and say one can you.
What's a man can you?
One can you.
Actually, the attorney say, Yama Miss Mira. I could not delegate him. I don't catch it on me say. One more, Oma di diame. Na Oma di diame. Na Oma manum edi diame no. FPC NPP and opposition. Eno ene ba mi gina so a me so mi di ye mi hwehwe mu e ba mi so me kwotena TVS wazet ana me ka kire tie fo se se ka obi e wadidi ame dia ene na ye ma mi Samira ene ni kunu Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia because mi dia ma hu se ye ma mi Samira si estate wo East Legon ene Ajenga no okay asema me kan no ti se wonu fi se asema me kan se ye no kwa dia no,
but what can be efa ne ebusuaku a ofiri mu a I don't think it's right.
Me pacho ensem bi te say.
You o kan sem fa Fulani for ho.
Oh, and yeah, so we still watch a video ni dia. And I can make sure say say because me asante achima go for delegate for be the catcher me say. Dem ma me Samira second lady no. Fulani for take advantage. E the woman na ntwe ewi omo no ma. Na so omo kwaka na ebe ma ni atwitwa. Wo ye oba nso a no ma wepu. Eto omo nto abama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Eno no
No. Dia. Dia. Specifically, no. Who said that mention? Say enye MPP na ye ni yanka. Say. I don't want to repeat it.
And what you repeat is I mean, tell what kind of.
But who him say okay? Who him say okay?
Who repeat it just one.
No.
Who bet make say bia Sami? What can I say?
Sami. National Media Commission for no say what can be bitia Fulani for so mo kan nantwie.
Fulani for the American ye no na me repeat.
But say one ka aguna agogo asem wo. You attack there. You attacking straightforward. And you attack the Fulani. One catch Magugu. Same mean to be more meteor no. I yam de. Ni meteor and I yam de.
And they say, you know, a basic then a tape on Swagu, assembly air cano.
It is so. And so go to the wall.
But I never come to my tape on TV. No,
to be honest, I wasn't happy. No, Mengazo, Mengazo Chantro. My position is yes, Samira made me a man response straight because Samira Oberto or party. In human response, I don't have any problem. But you see, Yenina on my no yetinusi and me and for dog and any casa de antna. You been your problem ebeka yeso nti na make say ehwo no
me ni Bobie
eja
say who say bra me man response na campaign time because ma me no sabe wan ko gina Assemblies of God asori them ana say mosque and the kan asem no campaign platform so wo gina ye okoshia delegate and wo kan eti no who response ana me de man no.
But say Samira anka obi abusu asem wo si ebia didi amen wanga say asantefo ana achemfo
ana me so me kan ne mate me say ne mate e wo asante atemagogo enie enti sa me kan no minim e ka bo ba tie pontie na yen hwe no kra ewo mu because me chatro enti me hu
eya me wan say and me wo Gabio meba and wan ka say
me boy enti ma hu de me kan
meba enti wan ka say Samira enya MPP na ye ni ya enka onfulani for mo kan ntwe na ebi no
oh David so because I need you be adding nyame ni me kra ni
enti meba so the point is
come on show e wo TVS was it e kwa mi nka de host me ko even sure ohene babo ama me kan sada David enti dia be na National Media Commission for abufu e dia na me so me ni sha wo so wo kan me nte ana National Media Commission so twa te bia ama me etinye na wo fe na ewie yi a me dwodwo me ho kakra yi a aka me nte ne ekoso
kwa mu video. You don't have don't worry man how odia omunu be di nko
video se bu ni kwa me ametimi asande amamo
e bia no asande e correct ano
oh da me kwa itini de minim fa ho minim ho hwe ne makoya de ti weche eti mu person betimi aje free
okay odia kwa me be frɛ e kire no no wadi
anu me kwa me ne mo kase kwa mo TVS wa de anu me ya minia ye de 7 asa afamu de na so yemfa nsem mienu enidi ehiti ye kan se na etie aha
mami musa wo say no wo the other support na lose fa na mo de fa
oh say NCT for ana NCT amoyogo ni say engu ye ana obi asuti mi nka say ye ni ye ru akedo na Japan ya contest election when NCT mu and ye win it ye prepare ni mo If you want to hear the party immediate, no party is going to hear there. That's what agent also.
And two by a campaign about me.
Oh, so my NPP need not Bomia NPP need there. It's a Yana, me campaign, Emmanuel.
And two by a obey a campaign about me. Come on.
Oh, in fact, come and come home. What we say, Mr. American Pambo, me understand. I said, NPP, no, the NPP need it. They say, no, me had the or no, Anna, or am a fact better. And I said, me campaign, man.
And I didn't know my mom and fact come and come home.
And I didn't you know what we say, American Pamman, and may you announce a cat, what we say, what we said, you say, Mayam and come. I didn't know also the come on also.
Me come on, a sipod say, obey Yama, I had dead, I am.
Na campaign or the Ebu Hane or the Ebubon.
Is any a bill one not as a inking cum?
Oh, maybe in fact, I dear national issue, we are in a party.
And did me busa say, obey Yaman and come on. A come on, no problem or one has a day now problem.
Oh, now I don't know, just how they come a better home. We are compare with a campaign, not that I obey the come on now, mean Chelsea. And the honest man tells you when you besides Anno.
But
because the candidate air co election, not a mere compare manner. We need the air come and the air come on. We need difference in room.
Okay, all right, but the yen me and say, the over campaign about me, a quite be also.
Oh, to my NPP need you, no NPP need you. Now, me have near a static campaign. That's a Radimia who are near that person come with the
about Tomoko to you, a fair.
Yeah, can't fairness, yeah. You be woman, you know. We shall dear, who and ye, and Pierre and Tokasem. Say, be a will be a group now will be a beer the metro mine near the other. And only number one, the fishes and KC and Tiano, so the ABNC. Now, second one, and so your fairness, yeah, and no make us a fairness. I said, ye disike bi ni ade da delegate bi ni ade eti e ho fan no make us enye fair na mum e ba hu ani ntokwa ni ade ne dia e bi ansi eti ho ne de ye ana won say election ni sika sam so de we de an wutimi hin free eti de sika no won nchen we de ya odi ni sika sam be hu na eti anu na course so won say record wo na Japan so e won ko sika no de ye campaign no se be nipa ba ko wonsa enso nyame ni kata. You rebel me answer there. One say all the ministers are supporting no, on this Cabuano. All the MPs are supporting no, on this Cabuano. All the CEOs, all the government appointees, at this Cabuano. It's on the campaign over here in Ukraine. While Moka was saying and for also.
But Ofano on a larger scale, would you say it was fair?
And I make us a bicycle ceremony. As a party, by Nina, support back on a honor not fairness 9 year Juma. Because a could do by Ducana as a NPP versus Canada Japan. Never because a candidate as NPP in Kong, there's a party Nina as right here Kennedy. If you shall resort in ya, which you say, yes, Papano, with Jan Naso. And say, will be a Sebio, a one who any sicker, I hear. Me kwa me tie mu me kwa TV me kwa radio dede ni ade ina kai do he Japan ma me even one city okay e oto kai na me dem bibi papa nachi e ye adwuma e ma no but wo mo e ye adwuma ma dot Mahmood ba umia no e do mo e ye se ya atwom o ma ye se ya atwom so e ti credit e bo no body papa results a credit nya ye no e ye organic result e ye organic vote and nya ye no Odo kaya kasa ana nkofo edo na omde to aba ema.
Okay, Marty, sorry, yada asibebre.
Yo minia, yo.
All right, so that's it. Etiefo na me ba be dealing with Baumia issues. So, yakoto aba MPP for to aba eye Mahmood Baumia. And the question is Baumia I say the first statement be a oyeye Baumia say who say a common crofo but his concern and obesha say obebua ama a common crofo no atwa me say Baumia brebe was a campaign we no ohu bi da. They know that they are going to opposition. They know. Na amanfo oka Akufuado de mo hwe ni yo. Akufuado. Temperature na ye ma no. Yet krom ha 2008 Akufuado MPP na MPP wo power. Na Akufuado eye flag bearer. Want mi anyo foko. Se Ghana for eka omo so wo mu betu a untimi nye foko. Akufuado untimi ya hwe. Na 2020 kura no eye jaimaninka o. I have been saying this. Say 2020 me na me ya NDC national chairman and as a flag bearer ye be kwa mo man na hye me ada MPP for be say menya position e won NDC na NDC me o man position then we say I don't be say me ma be lead NDC kum they should prepare because anya better debi me just you fitamu a ye be yem papa ye be yem star biabi said you see penny bia na me and this me nya kwa omo ya ma de kro mo mfrɛ me they are going back to opposition. What are you talking about? Metie obi analysis. Baumia obviously the first Muslim were leading from the north were leading MPP. Hey, Baumia baby to meet the religion ababa be campaign okroma. Baumia baby to meet the religion ababa campaign. Dabio na ya kan kremofo okroma nyina akura bom 1% ye say. Say Masa afre na manfo besi wo mo boafe wo mo se na who told you say nkrabofo nyina na support Baumia? Who told you? What are these antroncho? Hwa afre nya be fibra bi pa de a kire Baumia okromu a very useless guy, clueless, blockhead, obonfo say wey Cromford is about me. Cromford Penny. He is being investigated. OSP. Just go and check. Sure. Me say religion no cry there. Baumia and country obia or sa campaign na man bia say opanichew. Omunyai. Even when you go to north, Christian. Any other religions, go and check the percentage. Go and check the percentage. Any say adiana Baumia sa religious washa you know. They should just put it aside. For to baby. Na yanka dear way bet me aye, dear way bet me. Oh, some kekanwa na Samira kwa kabinwa ema samweduanum ewia se omo afido omo tra na sino. Yeah, okay. We are small girl na kan kwasi asem a. Ube mo obi akeka de nkwasi asem mo because who no kumasi na kwagina no so utitwi. Wo Samira so utitwi. Na omo so wo omo twifo no so omo de twi ne ekasa no. Omo nka de. And obi to say Samira, you can't change the status quo. Obi anim across the country. Twi language, Akan language dominates obi anim. Wo Samira who means the son da. Ya ka oni wabusuafo nyina bom kra. You can't change it. It will remain forever till eternity. Enyame na ahye. Me say Baumia nkrofo no omo make sure say omo de yes you know tribal sen beto nchen. make sure some the beton chain. Mom farmer. But there are serious issues. Let's talk about the economy. 7 years. Say, Baumia is on one vision. When you say Baumia, your campaign for 6 months to 8 months, when me and bien and one cut that say, I deal with Yamene a kufuado a year, you know. Me pesa me bana me bet twasu ewie. Not one policy. Not one policy. Not one policy. When we are mentioning one. But mami nyasa de we embra. Mene mini apeni Stanley Marte Communications Director, Ghana Water Company Limited. Enye juma. Uncle Stanley, akwaba.
Yeah, boko.
Pacho boko de.
Yeah, you saw the mayo.
Yes, so kakaka. Uncle Stanley, I'm out for complain kakra and titu tema. Tema say almost has a complaint be almost 3 weeks or 1 month ni. Then I'm out for Frere, Gulf City, Adenta, Ibinum sending messages Dakuman, any other areas. But the point is, Pacho, and so your problem kakra on so one.
Yes, you have problem kaka our young treatment plant. Be 6 days and I realized I said you pump back on action. For the past 6 days we've been working on it to ensure say restore is to normalcy. We say pump the number of pumps say but on back if so. Pump back if you get production volumes at the buffer. Currently we are producing around 60-70 capacity, 60-70% capacity, which is not enough for the western part of Accra. Meanwhile, the demand for SAA and also a cost. It's a more pressures now low. It is slow system, but we have low pressures. It is a more elevated locations and a more cocoa zone and non pressure no engine for could do hono nti ama yenya a challenge go kaka but where is this we yenda yo
I see
yan tabo nyana say of course you and now latest Wednesday your bomb price no more or how bia and the toya kwan so it wanna yan ko so talking za ema na na restore so no a amount for material.
But show baby
Dakuma ho the week Dakuma na not or can their necessary because Dakuma is on an elevated area. If you person in do papa o share at the can la pass cost more anya that we go say McCarthy Hill. I mean the western part of Accra the BIO Hill so Diana is affected. But any this say a moment so at this time. Mama we see in Suno, so now at least Suno a precious no 18 dollar Akakana, it be intimate, but some more a low line area now in so now Shana. The pressures can't build up. It is but rest assured, you are doing you are doing a lot. And she say it's me
I see. So which means we are not under water rationing, right?
No, water rationing the cost will be such as and no it's because a neighbor system less than the volumes of water demanded. But it's been compounded by the fact that one pump are dropping. Such as the entire capacity of the plant and I say so we are dropping one pump because I say it reduces volumes no further and yes say you produce a full capacity now you're rationing program here and not say amount for any problems because it means so there 1 day 2 days 3 days in a week at least you can store enough so now till the next time I show about if you won't shut down and take impact but if you are drop it I can into or more areas now so ama move feeling impact and anything about us.
So
the meaning,
ongoing.
Yes,
so meaning
except this time no. is been compounded because of the current pump situation.
Stanley, Adewe, what are rational? Young fans say a lifestyle and we must embrace it and move on, or what?
The only way that we can solve this problem is to expand the treatment plants, because we are hitting the maximum capacity of the plant. If you continue for another expand here, necessarily the same volumes of water, our population keeps increasing, development keeps increasing, such as and the demand for water keeps increasing. The supply is stagnant. So until we do effective, we do an expansion, and if we are old pumps being on we'll still be having the same volumes of water. I just said, then that shortfall will still be there. That shortfall could be increasing because demand goes high, because population is going high, and because of other factors.
So, which means
you're tired, but there's a lot of work also being done. So there's a lot of work being done. You expand the facilities, and then there are plans of investment into some of your facilities. As for raw water, there's no problem.
Okay.
We are able to abstract throughout the year. So in so water evaluation and if you Ghana is endowed with raw water. Except that we are not managing the raw water well. But in Accra, the sources of raw water now treating now enough throughout the year and even beyond.
Okay. So right now, what we need plants, right?
Yes. So what we need now, treatment plants, I be treating so treatment plants now also see need produce a maximum capacity. So a certain volume of water within 24 hours. I had to say cooking portal a bit may take a certain level of a certain capacity within a certain time period. So beyond that, you have to expand the facility. You have to expand.
Understand? As a country, when was the last time I expanded your treatment plants?
Oh, there has been projects. You expanded kakan. So I say, the number of years who say and you say you're just there, but projects no air cost kakan which moved from one plant to about 4 plants our wager.
Nobody
from the old one plant, about 5 plants our bone. And some of these are desalination old and also a recent one 2015 buy. A Juma air cost, such as it's not like a stagnant, the Juma air cost. And there are plans for it, except say Sika Eniho. So we have opened up to investors. Obia or the capacity to do it, Oba will take you, will do due diligence, will take you through the processes. Now say we have to now you have more opportunity to build a new treatment plant. But among for mobile so far Yentinia Obia no due diligence. You are issue say Obetima Jumano. If I have your brain, basic assembly, so Omoya Nina Nebetiaka in future. Now, you share your projections that Bibiana, any of proposals now. If you just support the two and if you reconcile the two now, some of them are not favorable to us. Yempese dachi maya ko climate some baby majima na ya ba do hold me say manye say we manye saw such as we need the thing but we have to do things right.
Mo na mo funding mo projects and I say aban somewhat
nam aban so ana dey sisi ano a o hwe yen tariffs and o hwe yen the we are financial winter we don't have what it takes to take facilities on our own. Such as this is a buying as a young thing. Because social and tariff now, I mean, Okako G loan, I will be invested into treatment plant. Who see treatment plant here? Who proposals to enable you pay off the loan now? your proposal also will not work because in so no kwa na and you want over your pricing at that time.
Okay, so
your business when say my input no this amount. Into me say better so na my tongue me profit. Into what could you loan be waiting to profit on 80 aka. They producing so there's an independent body which is the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, APLC. Or more number determine price in a mine. In the end, your production, the cost of your production at this amount. Or most of we see other factors because no, you charges are young bravo. Since I know, so we share a type, no, that we are any cost of production now for every liter of water and for every 1,000 liters of water we produce, we lose a certain amount. A better than maybe I can say a loan at the facility B and I see children planting. Obi never call this kind of back, but we say yin jaka. It is a corner samba. On my end, short jaka. It is a buying and swaying thing. Yanka saying to me, and that is how the situation is.
Anyway, Baba, yeah, that's it. Baby. All right. Okay. So thank you. Quick one. Nipa no send you pictures. You better in Nakasa. Quick one. Okay. So let's work on it. Yeah. ACA we are. Because you have to say I don't know this issue about my who videos we are echo around about electrochem. You say a Magda no more ede tax aqua attack encrophobi ada, and the kind of videos I mean who know is very sad. It's very sad. Me pacho dey na dia mano say onye won adwuma. Which one? All right, so let me move on. Star 413 hash, star 413 hash. Na me enclare yes baumia issues we influence. Hwa Canada Japan say omobema NDC showdown. You have it. Right? Canada Japan's on my mind this showdown. You have the video, right?
Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema be meti gara furuku be punti mpunasi sokode. No wakachira katabin say you what in kensen. Kwabena keja guma mni yanko. Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema be meti gara furuku be punti mpunasi sokode. No wakachira katabin say you what in kensen. Kwabena keja guma mni yanko.
All right, monfa chamina ye pese yade but okay, so yanko ya chinkotie eye campaign time no. Ensem ni bia Canada Japan kafa eye the economy ene baumia eho okay, all right. Me bam chance na meko we no. Mumia yanko adan konkohwe pickup one no. Yasin crofobia kwa attack wo mo ekromofo ama enipa ba ko awu. And ye guso aye ho adwuma anyway. So me ba so mo hwa ade ekoso ewo eye ada ene ne impotemo You try see a bit you pick some few information everywhere. You can tell say a police fool say you can tell exactly what is happening. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's very, very sad. I don't know why. And Akufo-Addo is not. And the way. Hey, okay, so what was that? Sound. And American because first car ne di anymore as a police car. Just that won't me ehunu eye entraining ye. We are trying to see benya area of ni bi ene wo makasa. Okay. All right. So all right. So obi a ya bo oma bonituo eda ho na obi so amwatwitwa ne nsem sikai. Wo hwa abrante we oda ho no bullets, etuo bullets egu ne ho. Which means enkrofo bi na akobonitu. Yes, Magdan enkrofo. Na well, it's so unfortunate. Me identity adanse no meja ikano. Say we no mi microba santima po pani bia support o say ene mabru no nyesa no. Ya omo kofa nkrofo bi ba say omo abugina ponom ekofa boy abrante no maboni to akunu awoda ho no. That's okay. Abujina podum kofa nkrofo bi say omomra metu gold wo asante mampon no omo say yes ya kachira wo mo say abujina po adi boys bia wo do mbeba mampo kromo yibekum wo nyina agu. At that point we don't do NDC MPP. No mampo for we don't do that. Yeah nyasa ade ne da. And the way Magdan, because ada you see ada penifonu bia na senachi. This omo be senachi no omo akum omo ankrofo a me waiting concern atenga. Nothing concern atenga. Lawrence Kate assemblyman ewo Bonikope. Lawrence.
Yeah, hello.
What to say?
Pacho no no.
Lawrence ade na ekoso.
Pacho mutie for na ba make us say there make us to flow po any Bonikope potem on yanti asem papa. Yeah, cause me say around 12 o'clock we are we no. Yeah, nipa ba kwa e friend korete we frame and I'm say electrochem claim tax force omo amu no see omo ye langat na so mo di electrocom tax force ya show mo abe bi omo so say omo free baby a omo ntimamfo no omo ye omo nchini no na omo farm tapoli na omo di nchini fi ho and omo so omo ni and I'm so na omo di sikai omo di buy no e di chicha omo tapoli no omo gusu sa na tra be se ni pami no sikai pass omo tra ni pa no na omo yes omo dwane ji omo pa but asema papa ya nti no omo tutu na aboni ye bisam no omo se omo ba tax force for the omo kita to ba police for come omo and omo di buy no mo di ma say police ni tutu
Anyway, but hello.
Hello.
Lawrence, I'm someone that Jaffa Kumame, and I want to come.
About your mean to come about.
190 and I want to come.
Maybe I'm one. I say so percent 20 from my boy.
Aha, me pacho.
Me too.
Mwako police station.
I say asem no see no na me was say and say omo frame me no me nante ko ye police station me tru ono me share me district chief executive and to me share no ono your report and on police no back and CID back and omo to ejami wo ho and I me so me farm moto but fortunately me bedru Ansah ono buy obaye no so of course omo mpene ma na share efunu no because asem no si no na enye ne nkwa no mo abu omo ye omo aka de na one country into mo pamo no and it's asem no see no me police station and officially police are aware yes no divisional command any incredible no so mo ba ha ba into my phone say omo mbe assembly no omo kan area security omo police for when omo ntimi fa ni panema divisional command
almost say enkrofo no a omo ye adwuma ma magdan na omo abo obi tu akuno no
yes police for omo ye omo ba post any enkrofo no ba ye no omo wo they are from the area
meba electrochem for no langas no omo ba attack mo nkrofo na police for ka omo
na police for ka ho
to omo ni police for ne buy
yes
police for ni free
police for no debia mo be ba no police for come na sometimes omo free region tema region ediba sometimes omo free division ediba sometimes omo free station ediba
enti omo bo ni tuo no omo so oye den ti omo bo ni tuo ku no
the assembly start here and I be omo bo ni tuo bo say necessary or dwane and omo bo ni teach you and to no can take off Ansah the telephone
and yes no o attack omo o dwane a oko
ai
boy no enipa no ayi magdan crofo no bo ni tuo no oya de adwuma
ono so oka amo ye artisanal mining no omo to nchine ne bi
ofri krom ha o ma me o
menim but menim say ni brad ye o ho ni brad to ho
o yere
mentime hu me hono wa ram asosia me hono
me chasa o yere wa ware
ai
and our Emma kids.
Definitely, me sure. But I said, Chrono, the assembly here, no, I am in next neighbor, but my assemblyman on the hall and say, I'm stepping in for him for now to take the necessary action.
Okay, all right, thank you. Lawrence, me best about Obio. I tell for young your video way. Very sad one from a year Bonukope. And hey, madam. amo because sika de obia ensuro sika. But muko position you guys you've mobile finding them very tough. Very very tough. Na me de entia adasem na enya me ya ne se eyomo ampanimfo na omo ne Magdana can boom. And if your own leaders me Santiman, no, it won't happen. It's okay. No. Say obisi obe or say obisi free mampon when yesika na obeba krum MPP before be kofa abu jinapo kofa de letter bre mampon yin se ombetu ya MPP for no abi wo mampon no frɛ me yaso ya kire omo de omo nye ye ka kire omo se look obi aba yibeku mu nyina agu krom a so person too good fa ko krom friend say bole abujina po frɛ ofre damango fa ko krom damango ba so nya de ramampon de a wo abujina po ye be wo no mampon tunsom be bia na frafrafo no ti no ndi se wa jimi no akwa akufu adonche afọ jimi tina nche wo de cross ba ma asante bampon a ehwa na omu gya ye din na omu akopem ba bi atena. But this guy is just killing them like anyway. So yankotie eye Canada Japan on showdown. And na maka no me adasem no na my back case omo asem omo no omo mpanifo na aka.
I pledge my support that we're going to work tirelessly to break the 8. Yeah. So, party members that we are here, we should put everything behind us and let's unite this party. With unity, I believe we can break the 8. And that is all I've been preaching for. So I congratulate the Elections Committee, the Police Department, Electoral Commission, and the party members for the commitment you've shown for peace. And I want to assure you, in 2024, the showdown is being translated to NDC. Yeah. We have to come together and give NDC a showdown. So, once again, I want to say thank you to my team for working hard. I pledge my support.
Okay, so before no, Canada Japan come out the Ken on Baumia strategy. Ken on Baumia strategy. Omo campaign one summer na yebe bachelor woman no. Obiantie Canada Japan carefully. The one calling for showdown. Oh yeah, Nante. So Obia ya
na ya project you know what the whole world ube hu nipa beba ha ebema ejuma abaha. Sorry your strategies any baby namun. It is only Ghana and I would the economy ni ko IMF also your strategies. MPP for Oma clean campaign ombenyasem because media woka may reply obi also your strategies embra you taking over power not dollar 4 cedis and then dollar 12 cedis we are strategies. Excuse me, strategies more strategies please. Omomienye clean campaign. Se woma anye clean campaigner. Media assembly on Bakabia Mayano. Mamenka Samtro. March 2022. Namisika aye $40 million in cities. August 2022. The value of the $40 million na 16 million. One is so strategies for Ghana. Mama mo bi ehunu mo. Ya de afie nyansa ebebu Ghana man amena ye. Choboy. Right. Yati ya free atebubu any prime nebe. Strategies ben and was say otumi eye fa na ya project you know what the whole world ubehu nipa beba ha ebema adwuma abaha sorry your strategies any baby namun it is only Ghana and I would
okay, all right. So this is Kennedy Japan on Bob. Now you got here another one. Bawumia can't beat Mahama. The same Kennedy Japan. Young Kasamre. This year election, no, next year young Kasamre kra. Also neno and my social stories am a movie where the bought tapes na mama keke. Chama Bernard Mona join here in the studio. But I'm going to take a quick one on a friend say Kennedy Japan. On Bawumia and Mahama contest.
Because you can't beat Mahama. Now see me and Kase, my coca say we lost the election in 2022. Oh yes. Yes,
What exactly did you mean by that comment? Because who we need MPP Fragberry, yeah. Obia se Kennedy Beck campaign on Adudanko Kufuado and Bawumia MPP government. Yes. But the same can say they lost the election in 2022. Yeah. And now NDC communicators as a can buy no.
Let them say me catch straight. So I don't know the man making it straight and then making it straight. I was referring to Bawumia. Because Bawumia na catch say if your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. Me makasa. Okay. Me winia. I can easily defend it because me policies am there, but President Kufuado free SHS will be maintained. One district, one factory will be maintained. But others messism. But the economy itself. Me can't Ghana for any party for a bit my stereotype. They don't want to listen. Media catch the woo. Nessa we a delegate na ubi ebe convince wa na wo am gas and throw obanyini na say maminka na emra mimi sika ehye no obi ka jam say me MPP ni die nyimi sika ntonje na sika no say mimi di ahia am I the only businessman ni sika ahye what you say okay na no me ka say we pe na Aboso kan for aka say adenti no wa moyedi ye nyina ye buafu a ye twan so the Bawumia ba say ne be si atoatia because the man went out there when your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. Has it changed? If $1 to 4 cedis, also fundamentals are weak, and $4 to 12 cedis.
Okay, I don't know how.
Oh, I have it because maybe a young couple of the Madrid. May travel quite now see and then go on your bedia. God knows I've done my part. Okay. Maybe I'm a country and went because you can't beat Mahama. Now see me and Kase, my coca say we lost the election in 2022. Oh yes. Yes, Miss Ru.
What exactly did you mean by that comment? Because who we need MPP Fragberry, yeah. Obia se Kennedy Beck campaign on.
So that is Kennedy Japan. Otuma Bawumia, he can't beat Mahama. Now, quick one, young choir, Bawumia is destroying the party. The same Kennedy Japan. The same Kennedy Japan. Bawumia is destroying the party. Ya the terms no kwa na bema mo elections we o. yɛbɛbɔ ama mo saa yɛbɛbɔ ama mo saa so let's go. Kenya Japan, Baumia is destroying the MPP party. We ain't got some tapes now. You be bomb sa. But said the ebo a friend said jazz no. Monsa be bomb sa. Nkele Matthias. Boni nyina bi star bi.
Opa obi a all good party no a. E ya won to be ni Baumia. Won to be any Baumia. Omu bu MPP party. Enya me amehu amaka ena me good party no. But omu ni ye ehurehuna ena me good party. Bayan tira ho ena me good party no. Me ka tira omu meeting so ma ko nyina ahave. Omu pa omu nya mistake. There be an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Let's see your empty galaxy. Whether you like it or not. Kwabena. Africa. Otumeka chira ni kuro kuote. Waya ceremony ti yantumano. Waya ceremony ti yantumano. Na wodi oya kania. U farisa obeka so oya kania. Waya Kristonia. U farisa obeka so oya Kristonia. Men come Muslims who want some it is said. One about me a Muslim community, you will vote to jail. You will vote to jail. It is a new man, my young macram of law. I will not to be a mukota. I will not play tribal politics. But if it becomes necessary, I'll give them bombshell. So no more in your now we play religious stuff. We play tribal card. Number one bombshell. Where he comes from? Because the honorable chairman said to me, it's a drama.
Now, are there any more raising concerns about the economy? Are there any more raising concerns about the economy? Sometimes now more campaign. No, there are so many tips. But me no tips the yamaso on one casa the on one yeah. On one Crawford the annual or more
to pave the way for breaking the A. Are you that confident? Well, so far since we had a IMF bailout agreement reached, we've already received the first tranche of 600 million. The second tranche is expected in November, maybe up to December, it should come in. And that should be able to give a relief to government in servicing its debt and in making sure that new projects, regular payment of projects which are ongoing and supplies and consultancy services can be met regularly. Give me your quick verdict on the performance so far. Happy or unhappy? Well, as it is now, I believe that most Ghanaians are unhappy. You? Are you? Me? You're Ghanaian too. Are you happy or unhappy? I'm in the category of unhappiness. So you're unhappy with the performance of your government so far? We're talking about now. Yes, now. Now. Yes, now. Maybe some time ago. Yes, but now you're unhappy with the performance of your government. And that is why we are saying that there should be that improvement with the prudent use of the IMF facility that will come in for the second tranche. And the third tranche is expected sometime next year, April or May. And by the time all these inflows should come in, that recovery of the economy, we should be seeing a remarkable improvement. Will be done to pave the way for breaking the A. Are you that confident? Well, so far, since we had a IMF bailout agreement reached, we've already received the first tranche of 600 million.
Accra 100.5. We no more Chairman Bernard Mona, Akwaba, Chairman.
Opinion Majoso. umpa bonti yati ase
inshallah nana akwaba
enu akora
bibia dem boko
ebu adom bibia boko
e de rade ase me pam so mama me mo we mfiri na mra na me mpiemu emfama mo I'll be back.
Mediasem Dabramo. Sisia de won sidanya. Any coin so vohukra. Esanse Alu Africa. We got you covered. Alu Africa. Eye dwumako kɛse a ɛbɔ ne nkyɛnse papa edi kru danso ɛne trusses a Ghana ha ɛne wiase afa na nyinaa yɛn ye lidie yɛn ane topo Alu Africa ɛwɔ abakwasam edi mu ɛbɔ no roofing sheet ɛne trusses sɛ yɛ papa nko ade a ɛyɛ honom ɛna obenya pa yɛ quality sanso yɛ affordable bedroom fishie aduonu nie ɛdan yɛ buru 2 million ɛna Alu Africa ekru so. What a news! Yen chance ye di kru dance no. Ni amani dimu ne se emuodu. Ne bani diswo ni diswo. Fiti 0.35 mm. Eko si 0.5 mm. 0.35. Eko si 0.
Opa obi a all good party no a. Eye won to be ni ba obi a. Won to be ani ba obi a. Omu good MPP party. Enya me amehu amaka. Ena mi good party no. But no one here, I would have run out and would be good party. By young Tiaho, and would be good party. May catch it woman meeting so much when you know I have it. Almost a mistake. There'll be an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Let's see the anti-Ghanacy. Whether you like it or not. Kwabena. Africa. Otumeka chire ni kuro kwa se. Waye ceremony ti yantumano. Waye ceremony ti yantumano. Na wodi wo ya kania. U farisi obeka so ya kania. Wo ye Kristonia. U farisi obeka so ye Kristonia. Men come Muslims who want some etise. Onu aba omi afa na Muslim community ni wo vote to jail. Ni vote to jail. E bi say enima mayama kremofo. Awoni o ntumi nyina mu kota. I will not play tribal politics. But if it becomes necessary, I'll give them bombshell. So what more in now we play religious stuff. We play tribal card. Number one bombshell. Where he comes from? Because the honorable chairman says here. So what for next year? It's a vote drama. When you make your mere capital trouble, what will happen? What will happen? They should stop that tribal politics. Unless I make you okay, will be all good party no a. I want to be ni ba obi a. Want to be ani ba obi a. Omu good MPP party. Enya me amehu amaka. Ena mi good party no. But omu ni here, I would have run out. And omu good party. By young Tiaho, and woman party. May catch it woman meeting so much when you know I have it. Almost a mistake. There'll be an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Let's see the anti-Ghanacy. Whether you like it or not. Kwabena. Africa. Otumeka chire ni kuro kwa se. Waye ceremony ti yantumano. Waye ceremony ti yantumano. Na wodi wo ya kania. U farisi obeka so ya kania. Wo ye Kristonia. U farisi obeka so ye Kristonia. Men come Muslims who want some etise. Onu aba omi afa na Muslim community ni wo vote to jail. Ni wo vote to jail. It is a enima mayama kremofo. Awoni o ntumi nyina mu kota. I will not play tribal politics. But if it becomes necessary, I'll give them bombshell. So now we play religious stuff. We play tribal card. Number one bombshell. Where he comes from. Because honorable chairman said to me, drama. When you make your mere capital drama, what will happen? What will happen? They should stop that tribal politics. Unless our media will lose you. Enti, Obianya Hoketan. Nukrani, MPP party, dear, a Huakono, NDC. But nipa bi owa amotu abama wo mo Ghana for de abufuo abeto abama mahama me de meka kira wo na e ka no kra na kira wo se wantie me na wo to abafo a God knows I've done my part. My say John the Baptist be prepra kwanu mu a kira wo nsempa no enti wo aso atie. Bible said, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his life? On earth, what does it profit a man when he makes money and the rest of the society suffer? And now, who said Ghana to power? Police station executive for Amokotuaba, Ghana, a year young, and
cutting costs, reducing waste, and spending wisely. One other major problem that has brought us to this point is the reckless and frivolous spending of our scarce natural resources. A fundamental principle in economic management is fiscal discipline in times of crisis. It is simply not possible to live beyond our means and avoid the kind of economic turnout that we currently find ourselves in today. Rampant over-expenditure is reflected in the extraordinary large budget deficits of the last 2 years, which is set to persist for a third straight year if urgent cost-cutting measures are not taken. As noted again by Dr. Forsen in his presentation, government will have to cut expenditure by up to 4% of GDP to create the fiscal space desired to get out of this economic crisis. Now note this, the minister in his media budget statement announced a 30% cut in expenditure across board. It appears that this cut is not working, as government expenditure in the first half of the year appears to have significantly exceeded the budget. The minister, rather than a vague reference to percentage cuts, must be specific in what areas these expenditures are to be cut. This will give a clearer picture of the expenditure reduction and how much will be saved from that directive. Drastic action must therefore be taken to reverse the cycle and bring public expenditure within acceptable and prudent levels. Let me propose some measures on how governments can cut costs. One is the size of government. A big contributor to the excessive public expenditure is the sheer size of government. President Akufo-Addo has been particularly irresponsible in keeping a needlessly large government. At a point, we had over 120 ministers in his government, with hundreds of political appointees at the presidency and others attached to ministers and other state organizations. While the president has currently cut down this number, the number of ministers has reduced in his second term, there's still room for a further reduction, including merging some ministries to reduce expenditure and cut down the ministers in government to a figure below 65. It's also necessary to trim the large number of political appointees who have sought refuge in the Flagstaff House. This will reflect the necessities of the time and the need for modesty and prudence. Secretariats and agencies. There are also too many agencies created overnight by this government without any functional necessity that need to be scrapped or merged for efficiency to ensure savings to the public purse. For instance, we have a free SHS secretariat. Meanwhile, the Ghana Education Service has adequate capacity to handle the implementation of the free SHS policy without the wasteful existence of another secretariat. Again, why create and staff a one district, one factory secretariat with new project vehicles and other cost items when the Ministry of Trade and Industry has an industrial development unit that is well placed to enhance the industrialization policy of government? The National Entrepreneurship.
The NPP cannot be underestimated. You know it, I know it. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are. Listen. Munjir, the nature of who they are, what they are, where they've come from, is something they are happy with, and they will be there for a long time. Let's not mimic their behavior. Let us reach into the principles and the values that emerged out of the circumstances that gave birth to us. And if we can hold onto those principles and those values, we will move way into the future and no one can ever defeat us. We will ride and override any obstacle as we did in the past. The NPP cannot be underestimated.
My brothers and sisters, our young people, fellow countrymen and women, it is no secret that Ghana, our beloved country, is currently grappling with a severe economic crisis. More than ever before, the lives of our people today are defined by a daily struggle to eke out a living. We're seeing our daily cost of living skyrocket, and job opportunities are becoming more difficult by the day. Our people, the youth, the elderly, drivers, market women, civil servants, security personnel, teachers, journalists, nurses, and doctors.
All right, so that's it. We are back. Accra FM Citizen Show. Now, me pa me chop. Enti Ghana for obi nkanche benefsen se wa bre onya adwuma ne ye. Ubom akunwam. Ka che benefsen yesi bema be yebu am ye ni nyina o. Ade no ye duru ba bia de aka nyina ye lapo adwuma na wo ye. nuonyaje hello
hello
eja abom ama
abom
what fan form CMG sika chede ucha say ucha say
party me.
Oh, okay. And what did say?
500.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. This week, what the best sort of honka crack.
Enya agro.
I'm not
saying we get to me. Say I there we say they see and I know what this people gal am say me phone to me phone so na me try here.
Oh, do you know my 50 cedis for 2 phones?
I tell you nkwala books grab you how I sort it out.
Mate, yeah, that's it. Koswa na
I real. That bia me tiosa.
Mate, me that's it. Okay, so me pacho star 413 hash. Me aka chem say ye the new promotion eba. Nyame ya aduma mo amutwa no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Friday. Sa mo amutwa no mo ye consistent ni nyina no. So mo amwantimi ani no a mo atimi atwa Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Ye bobo am numbers na no ye yi 6,000 Ghana cedis ato. Ye no so ye special draw amamo every Friday bia. Enti se we ni bi Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday ho. Friday about po. And but still and na me chenkro for be 4-5 and sana mapon so we ene awie enti madam wase mamema baba sadeka kwaba baba akwaba
enia
boko de
boko
good
me ba check akra
you ton kaje
enija abayi de importance edim record ya ba say na
ehun
na champagne e be pop na ebetimi de enwa
so the champagne e be pop chairman
yes
mamem free chairman muna side chairman so I am saying command dap no so anyway I am mutimi ko sagleme and I know Friday unfortunately na menya available but na yebebo mo abaso yentimi ensupina under the carpet sa mokoye but I'm saying command da ho no now Baumia versus John Mahama
na way me film
chama obako independent na
ade mini party
na moyi flag bearer
ye nyanyi ye nti utamechi a
metawachi chama enante
Mamenchia, the incoming MP of the constituency near Ablekuma.
Okay, Central.
How can I do that thing? Wow, Chimpe.
I see.
Into 2020, so also by 2024 by channel Sempe. Now the one account.
No, but sir, on Kennedy HMU 50-50, it tells you that the MP there is not popular. Yeah. Because the MP who was supporting Baumia.
Yeah, was supporting Alan.
Alan
who after Alan declared his, after Alan left, now he went declaring for Baumia.
Yes.
He didn't declare for Baumia.
Why no, he did.
No, what's now back? Then he moved his Alan votes to Kennedy. But I should tell you, say the other 50% that voted for Baumia, it's a protest as well to him. Which you are right also means that.
Okay.
Which you are right also means that he's growing unpopular even within his party.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I'm Mamenchia Nana Poku Alhaji Listowell. We watch the say we ceremony, but I can understand. Say ban mehu how many glasses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or the glasses have a studio.
Away.
Oh. If I'm glasses, no man. I'm a barber check rampo.
And
where you
it's meant for what?
Where you dear? Where so you also dear?
Okay, right.
Yeah, be I.
Now, Pacho Kwame, dear way. Kwame, Corpo.
Or to studio her.
Champ. Anyway, your time no error.
But importantly, as a member MPP, National Executives Abaso, any ejuma omodi eba ewie nano Saturday. As a former party functionary, meaning near ekum ejuma ekum Ansah no wetimi abedru baby a omodru yen. And then they say we shall see free unit elections. Now our constituencies, now our coordinators, now our regional executives, now our national executives. And in most instances, na ya parliamentary crampo, Ansah na ya ba presidential. But in more instance, no, omo ya presidential. Afi na omo dwin da omo ba ba parliamentary. Parliamentary no crampo no matese omo achemu mienu. Omo wo orphan constituencies. Omo ba no this year.
Okay.
And the non-orphan constituencies no by in February next year. Enti baby omwedri naturally say they are virtually sorted for election 2024. And I know say sikasem ebre the energy that you use to get to this point. Number 2, this particular elections, despite say not all the party regulations were respected, and member party regulations now they were not respected. No. I think generally na Nyama Koye, either the IGP and his police stepped up the security and Ohaobia Amba, and we need to commend the IGP and his police. We also need to commend the Electoral Commission for doing their job in a manner. But I am saying Nami Hujin Mensa at one of the centers. And I was just wondering, Mosheno, on one of the TV stations, yes. I saw Jean Mensa. And I saw her makeup. Makeup now, yeah. I was amazed at the level of makeup that went into her face. But it was instructive. Say, I have not seen the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. Either it was Afarijan or Charlotte Osei or even Jean Mensa appear at any political party's National Delegates Conference. But in this instant, Jean Mensa found a way to appear at the MPP National Delegates Conference to monitor and to assure the nation of their work they are doing. I pray, says about other political parties, so Aunt Nasi and Small.
She can decide.
Aunt Nasi Emma, because you see, if her presence will mean anything, then her presence must mean anything to all the political parties, not just the New Patriotic Party, because it's becoming one too many. Say she is always participating in MPP affairs to the neglect of the other political parties. Minjindi say she appeared at the NDC, for instance, their National Delegates Conference. No akoye bibia momo. Minjindi ni amekani say octural letter kurampoeka say the Electoral Commission was not going to do the work, despite that the court no crampo had gone to rescind the decision of the injunction. She still said that there was not enough time for them to go and do the job until the NDC reminded her that they charged for the services and therefore they could risk some damages. That will not also stop the NDC from going ahead with their national elections. In the end, the Electoral Commission simply had to come and participate in the process. That said, Kennedy, Ajapong, Ohene Ajapong, wow, what a showdown. What a showdown. Kennedy, Ohene Ajapong. Since Saturday, I've been saying that Nka Ewiase, ye will be your friend, wow. Kennedy is the wow of the town. Kennedy is wow. Na Obia and Jindi say, giving say, and not done pre 8 me by your press conference, no say 137 MPs. Omunina Eddie Omwa Hondi and Omubibia Eddie Ta Vice President Echi. And the votes are to be done in the 137 constituencies. What do you say?
Yeah.
The votes are to be done in these constituencies. Who will give Kennedy a dog's chance? Nasa Otie pollster Ben Efson, or say at a minimum Baumia will get 75%.
No, but Chairman, unia benefsen. And you own friend and conscience Ben. Wabre into jai.
Maka, Sansa me maka. But when I net the newspaper.
Oh, say.
Or the story be by near Oka, yeah. At the far, Alan say Kennedy betting me BT Alan to third place. I don't know the ban story. And
it's a wayadi.
Into we understand na enumguasiano na koso na peja, because you should be talking about the contemporary things and not the things of yesterday.
Exactly.
Oh dear, say evidently obi etimi hu say baby a
and as say predicted crime yes or back close o
dabi more than 15% more than sometimes 20% gap into your margin of error is 20%. Master waiting.
I know I say
one margin of error above 10%. Waiting.
Aqua was say +1 - 2.
What is here? Margin of error in your research. Now, of course, we say. Then the other political actors now more the Baumia side. Mitie Sami Oku, I said, oh, I'm over 75% at a minimum.
Sami Oku was talking around
80%. 80%. Yeah. Mitie another prayer or say 80%. Ebumi Krampuka say 80% no a start point into a mobile begin 90%. On na Saturday and Friday nyumre Saturday.
Opa da omo to aba no.
Dabi da na yekoye
Friday.
Sada no. Say na ye nua so wo ho. Na omo nyina aka say Ashanti region ba mo 90%. Nti say Ashanti region the 90% ba 80% na omo hwe no omo banya. In the end, the showdown showed. Sir Kennedy was not just going to be a walk in the park. Greater Accra, Greater Accra, most constituencies. Kennedy won about 14 out of 24 constituencies. Bobie? Yeah. Kennedy won about 14 out of the 24 constituencies. Now, it's a Kennedy in that form. Central region, look at the votes Kennedy pulled. What I say? Yeah. Uko Oti region, Uko Volta region. But the Volta region was not surprising.
Why?
Why is it surprising? And your Volta region, and about Miyako and Okokasa and Sema and Fata and Ancrophone, Esha say, we.
Amba.
Okay.
Yeah, you are right.
And then the vice president got agitated and moved out of the crowd. Ansah just this Saturday. Na president esanko Hogbe Chocho festival. Oko ya oka Hogbe Chocho festival. Oko ho. The same thing happened to the president, and this is about the second time AC was the president, because president and the vice president have looked down on the people of the Volta region. West and in this particular crisis, Mwankasa Marcos Pili Dam. Eddie or how Abba and your response to the people. Naturally said the president and the vice president could not be the force for the people of the Volta region. And Kennedy did tremendously well. In the 5 northern regions, the vice president did well. But in the eastern part of the Upper East region, the vice president did terrible. The vice president did terrible.
In Kwabena, that area.
Oh, from Garu. Na the Kusasis.
Oh, okay. Where you be crying?
Oh, Kusasi constituencies. No. From Binduri. Binduri is the only constituency in the Upper East region that the MPP won the seat in the 2020 elections.
No, but me can.
Me say na gap no so.
I see.
Oh, Ken opens the gap in all the Mamprusi Kusasi constituencies.
Kusasi constituencies na say.
Yeah, about 6
constituencies.
Yes. Can open the gap. Yes, including Boku. 6. Ufi Garu, Oko Timpani, Oko
Ebia woni MP.
Ebia woni MP. Oko Binduri, Oko Zebila, Oko Pusiga, Oko Boko Central. Share.
And MPP funding one with the agrosa.
Me see. Near AC.
The more reason why they are trying to create that tension.
Me see near AC wo hono.
I see.
She near AC wo hono, and I'm just terrified because these are two brothers, Mampusis and Kusasis.
Yeah, near for.
Otiase. Na ntokwasi say na baako ebetumi abeye vice president. They expect you to use your position as vice president to solve the problem. But unfortunately, it appears that is escalating the tension within that zone. Inti Oshe on the ground. That when I was looking at the northern regions, I was terrified at the outcome of the results. So the vice president has a Herculean task. The other tasks are, I think that the vice president and his campaign team should be thanking Alan Chirimanten. I say, oh, sorry. Na Friday ya munko Musiri Mosque. No munko da enyamia say Alan pull out of the race.
And kebe hagune.
Na Sunday they should go to church.
Kebe hagune.
Go and thank God for Alan pulling out of the race. Because if you do the percentage proportions now Oshe niya Kennedy enya and what Kennedy pulled. Now Oshe niya Alan nya and what Aram could possibly have pulled. Naturally, Sebaomia would have come at it.
Yeah. No, even if Sebaomia be winia and go in 50 plus mark.
That be
and come back second round.
That be in kind of be din.
Yeah, Asembeba.
In Kasema ba nyesa Asembeba. In Kasema ba. So they ought to thank Alan Chiriman. Tinti omo anono mudi Alan Atem, including the chairman of the Council of Elders, Sikalele, your friend saying. Hackman. No mudi na Atem because they support the vice president and in Yamoki. The outcome of these elections should let them reflect, say, in Ka Alan Edasu race numa, in Kanyani Ayakan, in Kanda form. And I would think, share, Nianti America Sano say, Minia Patrick Boama. No, yeah, Alan supporter, mewa.
Yeah.
Minia, your friend is saying. Oh, no, yeah, Alan supporter. Tema West. No, yeah, Alan supporter. Bakuyi English. Slide. No, yeah, Alan supporter. Finance no munyina. Majority of them. Enyina eko ba omiechi. Eko taba omiechi publicly. And Sly was given even 2 more constituencies to handle.
For Baumia.
Otiate. And this is the outcome. This is the outcome. Intinka omunyina daso de kuku dam na omuwo Alan echinu. Na omo daso ye ejuma ema Alana. Inka asem no enya asem a eda form. But I am extremely happy that at the end of the day MPP ayi. Na no na make say my knowledge of politics and the MPP as a tradition, this crop of presidential candidates probably would be the worst array of presidential candidates our MPP has ever filed. This crop,
Troka,
omuye the worst. Because Ofa Kennedy Nankasa, what does he stand for? Ofa the vice president, boo. Of course, as for Bodiera Atopa. Bodiera Atopa. I say I don't know Dani Ministry for Agric at Dani Market. A jom and a year tongue body or Omoda so tongue body. Inti what Dani Bodiera no what Dani Ministry of Agric instead of a policy institution. Na Dani baby a ye jom na ye nyina better body. And sometimes it's just amazing. And clearly, now, if you look at the caliber that eventually emerged as the top 4 into the MPP race, now and so nothing was working. I think that the work of the opposition even easier. Maybe I ameti high voices now boy no say ba wonya de no mbae
no one kasa de mbae
ba wonya do ne mbae o kan ya Kennedy kan
yeah.
But one of the things Kennedy said, which will be interrogated further, and he say, "Mimi nuya Samira, eko yiye no. Na ono Kennedy on kasa because okasa ni wari ebegu. What is it that Kennedy knows that Mrs. Bawumia has committed that could lead to a break of marriage or break in her marriage?" And so people will interrogate. Be a Kennedy nkwa no nim sa ansem no. And it will come.
But this is purely on moral issues. So
to
what extent can you
you know that is moral issues. So you are even bringing some more additions to the issue. Na me
yeah, but
because it's possible that it is about corrupt issues. Which is about economic issues. But baby out there no. It's a different ball game. So, baby out the you are giving us more clues into what the issues are. So the issues are more even going to be interrogated. But Kennedy can say, strategy buying here. Over far CD at 4.2 cedis to the dollar. And then 12 cedis. Now see your economic strategy buying and all the buy. Say new man ko ye enti na yede buy say be sie new man no. Now the new man akoye poto. And near we ye no. Buy na inflation ye 14.7 cedis. Says here we are inching to 40%. In fact, we are almost 50%. And I'm what it is says here baby.
You know your figures so much compressing.
Yeah. Now it's almost 50%. Says here we are still in excess of 30%. So what strategies are you?
54.1%. Oh, dear, 54.1.
So evidently, now there is no strategy. And no case ye the fie nyansa the baye Ghana ye. Reference the vice president any ni omodi nechi no fie nyansa nim. The third point in my opinion is significant in all this ni say. Ashanti region came to the rescue for Bawumia.
Not entirely.
Ashanti region. Yeah, Kennedy Eya Adie. In Bantama, in some Swami and other constituencies. Kennedy Adie.
I say Kennedy won a slide a constituency.
Oh yes, Kennedy won there. And even one in Tema West.
14 different constituencies
in Greater Accra.
14. And also Winnie war how come
yes, oh.
Ayawaso West.
Daddy, I'm just doing the analysis and coming. Ashanti region rescued the vice president. So, Nimsa, despite say Kennedy showed strong strength, and of course in Alan Bamwa, Ashanti region would not have gone for the vice president.
Yes.
That is why I was saying that Alan's withdrawal should be celebrated by the vice president team. In Kanyebesi Ashanti region, so evidently, Ashanti region rescued the vice president. And probably statement now making it say it is time for the running mate to be selected from Ashanti region. Probably that is the statement. Entina wo din bebre onyina ofi Apostle onyina.
Apostle onyina, I don't know.
Because Martin din. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh, but anyway.
He was, not is.
He is. Our race no. Frima pare. Our race no movie. Your friend is saying Napo. Our race no movie.
They even mentioned John Kuma. We.
Say you forgotten about Osi Banjo.
Onuna or abandon the role at the ma aqua
George Mensa.
Double face, double personality.
Victor
Kusine Kwabena Dujemfi.
Anyway.
But evidently in Ashanti region anya omoya ya no a nka vice president bo. But central region. Omo chairman no da so ya chairman Emma Central region. Chairman Kuti. Papa no a okoji loan kese the biggest loan from NIB eba begunu. an NPP chairman who has taken so much money from the bank and the government is not paying him. Nisika, bank no betimi aje omosika, and the government decide rather to go and collapse the bank no. Sa papa no beka say Kennedy omonto aba ma no munyina ta vice president echi. Now at the end of the results, now the region rejected you and voted for Kennedy. And can no pay yebati no say obetimi aka kire Ghana for nyina say the region that I lead, they have rejected my leadership and therefore I cease to be chairman. But for those MPs like Hawa Kumsin, who came out openly and vulgar attacking Kennedy at Japan, and they still lost the popular votes in their constituencies, the constituents are telling you that your time is up. Say what you say? Inti omo ka kire mo say mo time aso. But say Kennedy echo round now say mo amo enter mechi no meso me the candidates beba. And na Kennedy ba be campaign abmasa candidates now. The same people that voted in the presidential elections will be voting in your parliamentary primaries. It means that you have lost. It means that you have lost. Yeah. So majority of the MPs should be terrified. But I think that in the end, the showdown will certainly happen. Say 2024, we will look at the record. Then now can
But we are sure say Kennedy Beba Beka Baumiaho normal campaign. And
I think that Kennedy baby or way. To be fair, it is important say Kennedy should, if they want MPP unity, there should not be doubt that Kennedy is very strong and with the grassroots. Ansah na obenye national consensus no, you must have party unity. So mo per party ni unity any year, they can tame Kennedy by giving him running mate. So obeji muma. So mo ntimi an tame no anji running mate na. Kennedy is the candidate for the future. For the MPP as things stands now, Kennedy has established that ono na oye oga kota kota e wo party mo. So Kennedy will just play a lame duck role. Say mo na mo si mo betimi ayo. Monko yo na 2024 Osia. There will not be establishment to back you any longer, and you see whether you can beat him in any primaries in this country. Because by his own strength, he fought the establishment, got almost 40%. By the support of the establishment, DCs, MPs, ministers, deputy ministers, CEOs, Obia Ebetawochi, and still, this is the record. So, if they want, that is my piece of advice. Probably, they can overlook everything and make Kennedy a vice presidential candidate, so that he may not be forced to contest because 2024 they have lost it.
They have lost it. I'll come back to you. I'll say Ajima Eric here. I'll say Apostle Onyina is a half Ashanti and half Yamfo. Yamfo, Infa.
Yeah, Western region.
Western,
yeah.
Western.
I'll win for.
Okay. Baba, you know, say,
media measure save with Chairman Muna Ekano. Say 2024, no, definitely no. The MPP has lost it. But a very important say, or your instructive comments be about electoral commissioner. We all have to pay attention to it. It should be a matter of concern for Obi Bia or Kromo Asino. One of the things that your experiences are in punitive government, is the level of guarantees they get from the Electoral Commission and the judiciary. So it is something that every Ghanaian should be concerned about. Quite primaries, you saw the level of her participation in it. Now compare the active participation in this particular primaries now. It should tell you, say, a more grand design be starting from more primaries, to make sure that the real mandate of the people in 2024 doesn't happen. But one of the notices we can serve to them, then they said, the NDC, the youth in the country, the Ghanaians omu kromwa say ekwa ahopapa emu Ghanaians na omu kwa ahokyere mu a they understand what they are going through no they will make sure say or will all make sure say omo bomu trimpo say this is what they are going to do no they will not succeed on that. But it is exciting moment for us as NDC. The MPP from all their primaries historically has produced the weakest candidate. Are
you sure?
Well, let's go back into time.
Are you sure? But unim say omo nyoma adwene say omo baba so clean abato.
Yeah, that's spent one, but I know it's they can't do much about it and onya wa adwene so baba talking about obaba. You think 2020 can happen again? You want to shoot? This time around, particularly young parliamentary candidates and the leaders of the party in the various constituencies and the units, we say to them, so you would have to go through us first. And yeah, idea better now for you to get to our people. You have to go through us first. And so they should be better prepared. But here is why I say he's the weakest. Okay? When you compare Omo primaries from 92 at every point in time, when you have a candidate that doesn't get more than 65%, he's in trouble. You have a tall order. In 92, Prophet Eduboy, 56.62%. I mean, obviously, even when they stayed off in the elections, we all saw the outcome of it. In 96, President Kufuor, 51.99%. They lost the election.
Okay.
In 98, when you're 64.82%, think about it, 64.82%, almost 65%. And some Utimi Ewini elections in 2020. Akufo-Addo contested him. Now, in 2007, Akufo-Addo had 47.96%. They lost the election. Empo in 2010, only 77.92%. They lost the election. It wasn't up until Obinya 94.35% before they won the election. Quite clearly, this tells you if the trend is anything to go by now, it means that Dr. Bawumia, they have a lot of work to do. And particularly, if you see the votes that Kennedy really got or drew from some swing regions, particularly Greater Accra, Central region, the Ahafo areas, ultimately draw even in Greater Ashanti areas, it should tell you, said the MPP, they have a tall order ahead of the election.
But voter region is shocking me. It seems they don't want to see Bawumia in face.
No, because they don't want to see him, and so is Accra, so is Central region.
But how do you be also in Ghana need to
the person that took the lead, catch a voter region for Ghana for. Don't forget from 2012, Bawumia, he was the one that began to tag them as Togolese. Go back into time 2012, and Sahomo Kokotuno, the person that took the lead in explaining the Homo press conference be. When he came and he took that the pink sheet apart and was talking about it in all his interviews, he kept on dropping the name Togolese.
Yeah.
Yes. So if there's one individual that took the lead in tagging Omo Mufi voter region as Togolese, Bawumia. So obviously, how would they want to see his face? People that were born, people whose great grandparents and parents were born in Ghana, Hasia. They've supported the drive for independence. They've been in the country. They've had illustrious sons and daughters contributing to the development of a country. And then who in Makacha will say they are Togolese. What do you expect? So Omono, it's very important that they really show this and give a proper signal of what is to come in 2024. And I'm glad for Greater Accra. At least in Greater Accra, last week in our elections, primaries, we saw the mercenaries that they hide. Kofi Benton, Bryce Simmons, and all these people are mercenaries for hire. Trying to see if they could influence the narrative when it comes to some
Kofi Benton, dear. Jumama Bawumia. Kofi Benton has been with Bawumia for a long time.
Yes, but I'm glad that the vote from the swing regions, and particularly Greater Accra, because Omo targeting is usually the middle class, had sent the strongest signal yet. The strongest signal of disapproval. The strongest signal of disapproval of his governance. These were the people that Bawumia carried on board in the elections. The same people who catch on with say, I'm educated like you, I'm professional, I'm economist, me bar. If the first say I'll move the economy from taxation it hurts how do you call it? It hurts the citizen. It's a meme bar taxation input here. It is not something that we are going to work on. He sat live and told them, say, oh, about the mumu tax and our offensive.
Can you imagine?
Can you
imagine?
And such a person comes and as a head of the economic management team, doesn't only superintend, but gives us who calculated the number of taxes that the citizenry must pay today. And then, almost feeling the cruncher. It all happened under Bobie. So me, I'm glad.
But let's take this scenario. And then me no be about me have my own vision. Then it's like onimse economy nenye accommodate Crawford, and that is why he is coming. What is he trying to tell us?
Is he trying to make another promise? He should go back to the people and seek for forgiveness first and foremost.
No, at a point in time, I felt like he has never been part of the Akufo-Addo government.
No, you cannot detach him. Now, no president Nankasa continuously across board, Akase, the man was in charge of the economy. Where is their own vision? If your own vision, didn't reflect when the president yourself and 99 whom say you are the man in charge, vision, exactly what are you coming to show to us now? What exactly is he coming to do? After no baba catch and so enka no me catch him say you may you from taxation to production na me nim dia na meka. I didn't know so when I come I won't be allowed to execute my vision. At the end of the day, he cannot take himself out of it. Look, he's not a sole leadership. When he comes, he will by all means rule with the people.
The same squad,
the same establishment that Kennedy Pong went against them.
The same people.
What exactly is he coming to show to us? He has the best chance yet. In the next few months, he has the best chance in the last 7 to 8 years. The Okaso be Biawintimanye. He led the offense and the onslaught. He did the lectures. Obonitin Paul in all the interviews told us things that he said Omoba. He was lyrical about it. Oba power and so Oba catch and say, oh, and you be 1 million per constituency. No, it was a mere thought. And yeah, dear Nan Komaya Madrin Sombabe. What tells you that this person is not lying to you again? Nipa Bakwa, we train through a chantro. And then no, the picture. How much your offense a true full radio station today? So the same person comes to you and tells you say he has his own vision. Do you believe such a person? Obi they tells you now and then all back just say he has his own vision. But be it as it may, essentially they are not all person catch here and they say they failed. Or no only in penny almost failing. So now once they failed, any idea they can stand on, and all of them combined as a party, as a corporate body. Almost failing. He's trying to detach himself, but he was there. The president told us so he's the man in charge. He's the one in charge of the economy. Look, as recent as President Nukra his tweet some time back, you will see a number of the tweets where the president himself has spoken about the fact say the man is in charge. Look, don't forget say in 2019, on the economic management town hall meeting with all of them involved, Finance Minister Alan Obibia, their pictures was there. And Bamia led that economic management team town hall meeting. Why did he lead that economic management team town hall meeting? Because the president admitted and their party said he was the man in charge. So if the economy has tanked today, what is he trying to do? Trying to separate himself from the existing or what is happening currently. I mean, when you look at it again, there's a particular tweet in 2018 President Nankasa said, I am glad to be able to report that the economic management team, under the stellar leadership of the strong, brilliant economist, Vice President Bamia, has risen to the challenge and the hard work is beginning to show positive results. This is the president saying it, that this is the man in charge. In fact, when he did his press conference, Omoba Abeimu, and said, he had arrested the dollar and had given the keys to the IGP, At that particular point in time, they didn't know that he was the man in charge. Where was that vision that he had, his own vision that he had? So he's a very part of ahuncha Ghana for ekum sisia. He's a very part of the corruption that the country is experiencing. He's a very part of the failure of the MPP to ensure say the Ghanaian is uplifted. So there's nothing else they will tell us this time around. So I'm happy said they are bringing him again. And in fact, if you see the numbers that came from some of the places in the primaries, and you see Obia with the elections results and election research biano will tell you say your focus areas bia, they give you an indication of what's supposed to come. Greater Accra, Central Region, you know, the half areas. You know, they give you Ashanti. They give you an idea of what is to come.
Because the also internally, no, they make me replicate it.
And this time around, very
national level,
very important because this time around they have the largest what do you call it? Delegate base.
Yeah,
which tells you say it's actually expansive enough and the true reflection of the
exactly.
Of the people.
It's just like Obi conducting research.
It's exactly, and I make sure.
So if you are able to pick maybe 500 people in Ashanti region,
yes,
300, what?
That's the reflection. Yes, exactly. and when you look at the numbers that came from Swami,
yes,
any Bantama, it tells you the Ashanti region, the real thinking of the people.
Yeah.
How do you call it?
Yeah.
Ansah has vice president as a leader of economic team of the MPP in the last 7 to 8 years, you know, and then they cannot point to significant projects and a significant legacy be Omoja Ashanti region. So what are they going to do now? Not even a single one. And the president has told you, said, this is the man in charge. This is the man that ran the presidency. So how can you take him away from the corruption you're experiencing in Okromase? You can't free mismanagement na enye ye. Free offense inflation, you're about to say, and then 54.1% enye ye. The same person that came to tell us, more father than mommy. Enye ye. This is the dynamic culture, no. If you see the baggage that's on him and the deep perception Ghana food now is away or your true phone, right? It tells you that this is the weakest candidate the MPP has ever had. And so for us in the NDC, obviously we are not going to be perturbed about that. And we've told them, the only worst fear we have is saying we know the levels of of the distraction of my course. We've seen it, but by the time we take power in 2025, it will be worse than the way we see it.
And that's the fear,
because we know, yes, that's our real fear, not him. Our real fear is the worst, how they're going to leave Ghana for worse off, wipe everything clean, and this is the man in charge. And so definitely going into 2024 he's had the opportunity in the last 8 years as the man in charge for 8 years. Jomama Yehuno as the man in charge in 4 years. So we know exactly the works that he's done across health, across education, across transportation, socio-economic development. His work is unprecedented. And yet, if you compare him to anybody, he's peerless. So I'm glad say and so the forward march to that much needed victory starts now. I think that Ghana for Ninano should be primed, should be ready to vote for the NDC to ensure say the biggest political liar in the history of the country doesn't continue to stay on, to continue his lying spree. He doesn't have any vision. He doesn't have any new vision. He doesn't have any new mindset. He doesn't have any new team that will do anything extraordinary. It is the same thing. Dadana.
Yeah. So we mun never that than yankoi.
Yo. Around my church from Chia Minia Baba, the incoming MP.
Okankwe Central.
And a friend is saying, or a chief imam MP to be in T. In fact, when you wish to chief imam, and if you're phone, me ma me mu nyina mo fadama chief imam mo nyina me chia mo nyina kora lukwe nyame animu ni say from there me hu say nipa wenum na ekwa akopre frankatufo akonya ama amayeko MPP no mebusa me hu nsem fam yenu the kind Usam who say, is this the MPP we built? And the second question is, Edia Nama Nabasa. Kwabena say, share party na your friend MPP na. Yeah na. Enye party a na ewo se enka ebedru baabi nipa binom te se Baumia, not as in ne pedria Baumia, but ni pesu Kene Japan ni pesu akoto free
nipa woman na say oye one nyam kakra
oye without blemish
ya de ko nipa mu ye adeni mu
ti me busa mo say ti how have we come this low? Say amayuko. This an amayuko a ubia Ghana for including the NDC at some point believed in the kind of prowess. Until I even got closer to the NDC, I didn't have any view. Say ye NDC ni bi kura o nimdie bi because na ye ka party I feel say nimdie for ne omo a omutiri ho abobbew ewo mu a Kwabena in fact na ye dwen kese pa say MPP na ye was a track record until say me ben show na me hu say koto obowa. Enti me busa me ho sansem for say is it because Akufo do cry timi abe mampani nti enene akoba se osono tofo mu a abo bia eboni bi akoba sa na but Kwabena se wo hwe baby aye free ba eni baby aye bedru ya enye me nwanwa pi se MPP atete aise kontebe enye me nwanwa kra because akoye se omo a omo bedi party nanimu no after kofo no yen hwe de wo nimde yen hwe de onim nyansa yen hwe de ebi a obetimi aboa ne man ne mum tambia no nipa ye hwe no ye de wako wie sika obetimi ababeche bia ma obi adie anu nti no so wo hwe the delegate of the MPP a majority of them no Kwabena they don't just vote, they only go there to make sure say obe enriching ho to decide. And eno na ama amayukuo no krono ene kana sichi kwan so eno mo fa so bu man no because say wa anyire wo ho enwie sika ama Bank of Ghana sika anyira wa anyire wo ho sisa omani sika ne na japade ankogu dem na se abato bre no so a ebeye den se nipa behwe unipesu unimde utirimu po wadwen pa e de agina so ato abama wo
no way
eno no wonye disa wo awuska na Kwabena sika so de etimi kodi kwase abotom enti misuro pa mewo sisi eni se ebedu baabi no obi beye cocaine business enyeska na odini sika no aba be dada Ghana fo bi a o MPP fo NDC fo de o ma dwumu da ho papa in fact me hwe NDC delegate na me hwe MPP delegate I can easily tell because even from the last election you can tell how John Mahama Kutuya just 40 CDs.
Yeah, 40
across board. Now we share
the day on Bayo.
The day, sa anusini fui kene Japan nom Bawumianom ne omo supporters. Be jina be dwem ena John Mahama and a 40 CDs per delegate, and when you scan or here, and now omuye de desa. And if you listen to the grassroots and listen to delegates, confess say Ken mame 300, Baumia mame 400, and no crampono. The insults thereof say, Aden na me na Ken na or no ya 1 man no. What you make 300 na Baumia or no establishment candidate 400 is an insult. So na udi gun you can easily tell say the NDC delegate no onyeska eno hwe so to aba nemum ohwe o track record ohwe o Bobie ene o Bobia umudie ene nindia owa ode beboa amoman na tumpon ohwe wo achievements na afi wagina so e dia to aba. And these two group of persons no and a group of delegates no, you can tell say one is wise and the other one is a fool. A group of fools in the MPP and a group of wise in the NDC. And that is how I begin the conversation. Kwabena enye me nwanwa say MPP ato abama Baumia na eye me de mum say NPP ato abama Baumia because Kwabena sabi obia wo kwa kansi a o hwe de obetimi abona ma na timi no anamebwa say isa bo me ma ntimi me enti say okọ akansi a you always look out for nipa ube feel say we there enya din pi akabra say odi waso to from pa even amongst the nipa three na omo ewo apart from adani mo ka ho for no uhwe Kene Japan Baumia adani mo a mesi adani mo akoto afri a kwara nipa na me feel say Owenia, even though after carefully studying and analyzing the events and Neoma Manfor can and putting it to strict scientific analysis, no, I knew said none of them was a match to John Mahama or could have been a match to him. But Nipa na Amanfor feel say oba ebeye hu kakra eye Kene Japan because omu feel say nano ati free nti na onim say John Mahama no obi kan on pentokwa o kan obeja wo amwakọ. But the na Amanfor nso ewre fini say Pentecost of bia will beware of dogs e woni fie ayatron boldly uduru wa o si Holy Ghost na one in the tears so na watro beware of dogs. Omu refi say John Mahama too has got some dogs that can also do the actions as and when. But we Kene Japan factor no anyhow people felt say or Canadian call 4 person or more tier. Not generally so Kwabena o share how Ghanaians reason. Sometimes probia. And on a man Akufo-Addo at some point people thought say he will be a very good president. In the past people were like or Canadian or you're bold or you're brave and people wouldn't want to miss him as president because why? Oh, be out to me Canadian rolling so to me Canadian be a and he was always as if he defended the public. But say Nanka Akufo-Addo beya. Do you think someone would have wasted his time thinking say Akufo-Addo should be president? No. And same thing, you name how Kene Japan has behaved from time immemorial till date, You can scientifically analyze and tell a story of him. Say he wasn't anything, to write home about. But majority of the people you would sometimes see in the streets, would tell you, say, oh no, Ken Renia, Ebeyehu. And I think, say, it went against Nenkofo. Kwabena ade baako so amesa realize and say Ken held on to a certain dissenting voices to this government. Because who say aban no aye unpopular.
the protest voices.
And yes, protest voices, no. And so say me koka omo ho say me ka ho na ye nyina ye bu man na so me prepare ni ye ni sa na. So his strategy was to take a swipe at the system. Na onye anti-system. So Oshaya Ken,
so he was just trying to position himself well.
Yes,
that's all.
Ken was now behaving like an anti-government.
He saw people even within the party.
Yes,
MPP for are dissatisfied.
Yes.
This is not even Ghana for.
Yes. Yeah.
MPP for
37%
are dissatisfied.
So if you look at that number of percentage at Kenya, na Oshedie Baumia ya political party BNU wo we are say o party for more than 10%. Omo disagree with what happenings there are in the government or be survive in the election.
I see.
There is no political party in this world scientifically apathy asserting in more than 10% of the population of the party, no. In disagreement with the ruling government, and I said the party that is in power or be survive in the election. So it depicts of how Omoya against this government now. Baumia, your friend is a vice president.
A woman in charge of economy.
I was saying in charge of the economy. Why impoverish the masses? No, it tells you say, Ghana ni biye ni hono mo na adwunu mu da ho a. Ade se wa bodam. Yeah, to say
abodam for kra any mo ba.
In fact, abodam for kra hunyansa. P. This will be a wa bodam. And then qualified to elect, but by any means necessary, when your chance so beto aba. And no bet me to Abama, sa candidate, because he is dead on arrival. That's why social media, a lot of, in fact, the NDC for no cramp when you are chance, MPP for now, to Abama ba umiana or any. Now, who many more to Abanema ba umiano or many many. O share the rented crowd, the D-Day now, or more. Stadium program no mo ho na utumi say obitumi ko gina mo sem ye dede no mo gina table they are not happy
pasca
because but actually there was no excitement about this election.
But yes, you cannot
Nipa na or the excitement neighbor
almost 38% of your party population.
Nipa no the excitement neighbor na afi meni nkofo ano mo yes argument ni bi ya adwene ne se Kenya Japan kura omo a apathy esi omumu ama omo afi omo ko away from the party no or say bring omo back on board ne say orenia, then it means they have everything intact because omo ya ba omia for ne de omo see they are already for the MPP. But we know who Kenya Japan lose ye utimi. There are so many videos and voices.
Plenty.
People are almost say, "Can elusu dia mento." Se can elusu dia any me come hama straight. Se can elusu dia me kwa frafranto, and all that abound. Kwabena, what I will call a disappointment also to omo no me Kenya Japan fans, and they say, "Can no omo any ye." It's been rumored. And media may Martin from a certain direct source say wakojiska. Na enyame nwanwa. Because Kenya Japan ni bia is about his personal gains. There is nothing about Wogan and Nia Wutia Bontia who say can dream there be or no way businessman. Say who he akablemeza Wogan ha CCA Kenya Japan. Everything about him is business. On what else can we soon or sorry ska ni bibiano sikan kwan no odwen ho onwe bibia ho apart from ska
Canada.
And Kwabena say nipa beta wachi akwa elections with this huge support na yakoto abawie wanwene omo ni unam ni nyina no what can send back on out to a Muslim say showdown and omudi wachi. And when also some wadrin cray free showdown, wabra would ye wadrin yo say usika na wo kwa akope. No wakoji scano. I was saying I'll show almost some respect. What must I say? And that is where I think say wanyadie. Apart from so wanyadie with elections ni mono. Omo to abama no. Say wadrin yo say afei akoye party affairs ne nyoma ntino uja bibia manaka na wakwa akojiska aja manaka. Eni kwan say woman ye say oh omo de omo ane pe no makoto abama na say we use omo and na wadampo omo because of your private gains. No. Time I wokojiska no. I was how dwe omo first. Because nipa na oni mi din komo ne say go man first kana mananko on my grounds for and no ye late no. What you say? And they had to cough that money for him. And it's several millions of cash and on the amano. But me point is say enti odwen ko odwen hwe kan say ne fancy pin for kan odwen hwe kan say ebi a na wanya support base no sana etimi ekoba say Alan first one na ojaima ekufuado no ema kofo bi dwen say next time kra to mana obesa akogya ama no enti ene ye kra no yenso yemfa ye we because ya to abama na ene ni sanfa nsie ni na wonfa ni nsie ni na afei wa yo ho say in the interest of the party the party for no so na emia yen ena wo ye hu say wo ye redeemer brabe tayechi brabe di anim ne enta wachi na yemfa nko na afei akoba say wo akojiska ena wo de yen no wayi yama ena wo ya wo sa akofa coordinators crampo almost at boat ni nyoma ebema o grassroots for na omota wachi no omonso buafu. And I think say on that can anya there because wama enkofo no aye disappointed even after the because enkwa nkwase e kra enkebe enkofo de but omonso hu say mpanifo ni hu say can amasia and so down no a bit depend the cracks of the party nti any the opebia mo me mfama no any contract promises ne nyoma nti say no wo mo di wachi no afi na akọ hwe omo akoye omo den ana say wanwi too deeply say ana say bia wonko biem e bia no hu say why over age onko biem nti we de peking crime ma menye na menko Sebasa dia nature say Ken has been a disappointment. The last but not the least, and someone omo ekekan Ansah no mo koto aba no. Most of them no I think say they have weaponized their opponents. And it's like shooting yourself in the foot. What you say? And someone I'm for kafa ken ho. And someone mo kafa ba umia ho. And someone eye no kre fa ba umia ho. Ba umia ne ntra wadie. Ono ankasa ne kasa bebreba o kasa ye. Ansah na ye kwato aba 2016, 2012 ne 2020. Sansem ni nyina ye nsem a they have become weapons in the hands of their opponent NDC. As to how the NDC will use those tools, and also who here, because when yes akasa na obi betimi akasa e krasi maka nenso ma anweni bia eye kasa nipa kan ya omo eye so mo de beji votes enti no all in all I wish the NDC well. Bawumia's victory is a greater victory to the candidature of John Dramani Mahama. In fact, ebinum krasi mane campaign, but meaning how John Mahama behaves, and I know how he would want to, stoop to conquer. and I pray, say, the larger independent, your friend is saying, quest of the Ghanaians, say, on Benya, the second independence, no. Baumia's victory, no, will feed into that, and I pray, say, Yankopon, and yet Ghana Fuin Adum. Na only in free or self for yourself.
All right, listen. Yeah.
Adoko ayibia. Yeah, poppy. Diama baumia or no warene election. Na ye we dia senya me ani monyam. Se de Nyankopon kan ye no abemu na ama said Muslim for and they who am we.
Oh, getting there, Kajare.
Muslim for
your equipment, one Tiana or the Akado.
Now, Omuni who be him.
Where the celebration of the victory to come. Say non-alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic.
Okay, so that's it. My man pick him in next win a quick one. Hello.
Hello.
Oh. See. What for the form? What for the form? But your friend say.
The friend is Cecilia.
Cecilia, who side?
My friend Planta Village.
That's right. Why we need 500 Ghana, right? Okay. Cause one try CM discard there. Oh, and then they also win. Yeah, na win to me. Yo, what's with us? Yes, sister. Okay, thank you. Onyame bosero abemwe hip 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 ready about me out there
and the 37+% protest vote by Trump say you have another chance. First chance now. Mokochire mo adwena establishment no e obia chichi munsa ye bibia de come about me no. Don't worry. 2024 is another chance to really show the protest and show omo say omo friends say no amambu no and show ni enkoyie for which reason you protested.
So on this note, who invited the 37%?
37%.
Yes, thank you.
They show omo comment on yem. December 7, 2024. No, they have another opportunity, another chance, and sad time exactly. Sad time, no. Other Ghanaians will join 37%, to really show the dissatisfaction and the biggest disapproval of the Baolaya.
The victory of Mahama is coming again. Coming again, again, it's coming again. The victory of JM's coming again. The victory of Mama's coming again. Coming again, it's coming again.
Sabek, listen, and I am say more. Oh, okay. So, hey, now where?
It's one of the informations I pick. So it's very important.
Baba,
I see.
Yes.
Baba is tough, eh?
Yeah, money. You make it sure. Until we once is a course now, they mark 37%. We also want to extend the same thing to Council of Muslim and Zongo Chiefs.
Okay.
The information that we want them to understand is simple. Let nobody hoodwink you. Let nobody deceive you or mislead you into going to visit to endorse the vice president.
Oh, okay.
Because and then where we say to know, Ghanaians have experienced worse, and Ghanaians are expecting better judgment if we move on. A word to the wise they say is enough.
Yɛbɛtɔ we so nyame adoma ɔtena yɛda mu nyinaa ase live on Accra 100.5 JM ɛda mu ase bebree Tabia Eba Center, thank you so much. Happy birthday to you, Abigail Apafo. One from Bernard Mona Chairman to you, Abigail Apafo. Happy birthday to you. Oh, you are suspicious and suspicious. Seahorse, engine coolant. Police in Yadro. Top Choco, thank you so much. Mikael says St. Andrews SHS. Omuguso Ejim Koda. Quick credits here and Cancer Ghana for say. You hear no ID. Greenfield Scientific Bar Clinic. I see and come at Dominant Pempe Mamate and Canara and Mray. The Ansah.